is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Heights Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine Ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. In the darkest of nights, gonna let my light shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. I'm becoming fearless. Oh, what is up, everyone? Fearless family. Mother Earth. Holy stuff. Hi. What's up, everyone? It's your main man, Frank Castle. That's right, your sorcerer supreme right here each and every Saturday night on Fearless. That's right, Fearless. And tonight's show is about fearing much less.
Oh, yeah.
I'm joined by my ethereal translator. I'm not done. And life partner and most beautiful person in the whole world, Paula Milo.
Hey, everyone. Okay. It's been a long 2 weeks. We have not had a show. It's 2 weeks, right? Yeah. Today, this Saturday is exactly 2 weeks. We have not had a show. A lot of craziness. Aside from the regular contagion lockdown craziness, self-quarantine craziness, it has been crazy. So we're here now at a very strange time. It's 9:44 now.
Look at that.
But we're here and we're happy, and Frank is going to go into what's been happening over the last 2 weeks.
Shout outs to my main man, KG, Paranormal Portals.
We have to say hello to everybody because we miss everybody terribly. We miss you all. We love you all. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Joseph. Hi, everybody. We're so happy to see you.
Dan?
So it's been
really. I got your
It's been a crazy 2 weeks. So yes, we miss you.
Really, I love you. Really.
Is that Nick?
No.
Nick, no.
No, it's
Oh.
Come here. Right? Okay. Fearless family. United. I miss your faces too.
Oh, Ellen, I miss your face so much. You don't know.
I'm gonna just take my time today.
Yeah, we don't have anything.
I'm not in a rush. We ran back from. All right, so here, slide over.
Okay.
We've been staying with my grandfather.
Frankie's been living at his mom's house for the last 2 weeks. Literally, it started 2 Saturdays ago. We got the call. Pops, hello. Pops, homemade home health aide ended up getting sick, so she couldn't come to the house. And then immediately after, Diane got sick. Mom got sick.
Yes.
And then we got the call. You got to come here. There was panic. Panic set in. And Frank and I were like, okay, it's go time. Now we're ready for this. Lexi, I'm gonna address Sam. I'm gonna talk about Sam and the essential oils later on because I have
No, we're
to
gonna
say
go over everything.
thank you because it did save my life. So we get the call. Now Frank and I had been preparing for this specific moment in time. We didn't know it was going to be coronavirus outbreak, but this, that it was going to manifest itself that way. But this moment in time has been Frank's time since we met. This is what Frank has been talking about. This was his go time. So we had been so prepared for this time. It was like as if Frank and I ran drills. It couldn't have been executed in a more really very what would you say, efficient way.
It was like it was ready to go on a platter.
It was. And we had gotten everything we had gotten from Costco. We had hit the supermarkets before they had the last this is the big 2 weeks and everyone should really stay home. Frank and I hadn't gone anywhere. Between everything and the butcher, we're set. Yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly. So we get the call.
I could never be a ninja because you would know it's me. Look, you could just tell it's my eyes. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, that's Frank.
Yeah.
It's like Aiden. Oh, Sam. Frank?
Yeah, my nephew. My nephew 4. My sister texted me before a project that he did. He did a diorama for school. I don't think I've ever done anything that nice in high school.
Shout outs to everyone making it happen right now. You're all home.
Grade.
We're all home.
Yes, and
family people, what's up? Everyone's alive and kicking inside these boxes, and
we understand. We understand.
Right
we understand. You're doing the best you can. So Frank and I get the call. We go over. 2 Saturdays ago, Frank sleeps there.
That's why the first show didn't go off.
I think he came home maybe. Would you come home? Maybe
3 hours.
Three times in 2 weeks, just to. He was showering there, but he, just to have a moment alone and pick up more stuff and bring it there. So Frank was living there and he's still there. He's got to go back after this. He's got to go back. Until Mom is feeling better. And I've been going over in the mornings and doing the breakfast and the dinner shift and cooking.
So we're all doing our parts. Without missing a beat.
No. And it's funny because the way things were timed out between the 2 houses and the food that we had, I just pack a bag every morning of what I have that has to go. And then I rummage through the fridge there. And then me and Diane put something together. And that poor lady ate 3 gigantic pots of chicken soup. She lived on 3 pots of chicken soup for a week and a half. Yesterday, she had her first solid meal.
Let's go into, hold on. For those of you, because I know I'm noticing a rhythm and a pattern with some of the comments. For anyone that needs to get anything, I'm just going to say this in advance. If you're running with like online stuff, do your Amazon like 7 to 10 days early.
Yeah, because the delivery
cat food, dog food.
Like our Chewy.com orders where they're taking like 10 to 14 days.
We shut the website down for the specific reason. It's not going out. Issue after issue.
Yeah, nothing's happening now. And even we've been like regular food we're not worried about. I mean, in cat food we're still good, thankfully. Like really, we timed it out. I mean, I am
let elderly in front of you online.
Yeah,
do things.
Now is when you have to really be kind. Like now is it's. So we've been going back and forth. It's been a lot of it's been a lot of craziness because Pop likes to watch the news
at like 1,000%
all day long, and we keep telling him like shut it off. You gotta stop listening to the news, Pop.
So Grandpa, just to throw it out there, Nick, thank you for asking me. Pop's older.
Yeah,
he's
older.
Not really going to get better. However, the problems he was having.
Yeah, he's much better.
My grandmother was passing and he got really sick. Guess what? Wait, hold on.
Hold on. We have a theory about that.
Maybe we should go back quite a bit.
Okay.
So we took Grandpa to see Grandma before she passed. She was still in the hospital. Everyone was getting the flu last year.
September 2019, this was.
Right.
This was in the fall.
He got sick. And I remember now that you said it earlier. So this lady, Sloan Bella, we like to watch. She does channeling. she made a comment that she remembers getting sick once when she opened her mouth
and she felt the virus
and she
jump
felt
in her
it
throat.
like just it go in like I'm sick.
Now that has happened to me in the past, so I had no problem believing her because I actually was on a flight home. It was a red eye from Vegas, and there were very few people on the plane, so everyone got to stretch out and lay across the seats. That's how few people were on the plane going home. This was so long ago, and I actually felt the cold jump down my throat. Someone sneezed, and I actually felt it go in my throat. And I said, I'm going to be sick. And it happened. So, and I know we jumped in and I know it's confusing, but we're trying to answer questions also because a lot of people we haven't talked
Sloan's
to.
awesome.
So we're going to.
So hold on. So to continue it, everyone has had like around us all of a sudden these moments where we felt like
you feel something just jump in your
and
throat.
You just know, and you're like, nah, maybe not, maybe not.
Right.
But no, you wind up getting sick. Well, I touched his walker and I came home and I felt like I was getting sick immediately. And then Paula and I got so sick. And we already were, I'm not going to tell the whole story.
October of 2019.
It was so bad. I woke up and I'm like, I'm dying. We got to go now. I'm going to die. That's how bad I was choking on my lungs. Like it was like cement was in there. And I'm like, oh, this is it. I smoked and now I have what my grandfather has.
I'm going to die.
All right. So just to answer Nick, he's not really going to get better, but all of his symptoms that were screwing with him, including what we're discussing right now, completely healed.
Right.
Which is amazing. But he's only at 30% functions on his heart.
Oh, 30%. Yeah. 37%
and then output. And then his lungs.
But he did get much better. Thank you.
He's so much better considering.
So now why we're bringing this up, weird and out of order.
Grandpa got sick.
So now
Grandma got sick.
No. Just go back for a minute now. So now he is not sick at this time. He's fine.
Not even a sniffle.
Mom got sick. Now the home health aide, it can't be there. So Frank has to be there at night in case Pop needs something at night. And because Mom can't do it because she's sick, because she has to self-quarantine. And someone has to be there to cook meals and make sure everyone gets their meds. So I'm there during the day.
So it's just a rhythm and a routine.
So it's a rhythm. So now mom is up sick. The home health care aide is sick. She's not allowed back in the house until she's better. And Frank and I are pulling double duty, making sure that both of them are okay. Now, Frank's grandfather did not get sick when his mother got sick.
And he was in the house with both of them.
With them. Now, if the theory is correct, and Mom and the home health care aide got it near the same time because their symptoms were a week apart, wouldn't it hold true that Pop should have gotten sick as well?
Being that he has pretty much zero ability
lung capacity, to fight infection
and stuff.
Okay.
There's nothing.
Okay. He did not get sick.
He didn't
even have a sniffle.
He gets in these weird it's not depression, it's like anxiety, right? Where he would bug out. The minute I walked in that house, he hasn't had an anxiety, an anxiety pill, a panic attack. So we're basing everything on Grandpa because Grandpa's the one that could just.
Okay, so all right. So just let me set this up so people who were just like listening in understand that Frank and I feel that we were exposed to the coronavirus in October of 2019. Frank and I got the flu terribly. We were one of the first people to get the flu. We had gone to urgent care because Frank woke up the third day. He thought he was going to die. He was like, if I don't go to a doctor or a hospital, I'm going to die. And I said, okay, no problem. I don't even know how. We were so sick. I don't even remember how we got there, how he was able to drive. So during that time, we did visit Grandma in the hospital. And Frank did touch Pop's walker. And Frank and I had gotten a cold like a week and a half prior to getting the flu, and then we got better. So we thought, we didn't realize that was probably the coronavirus because it's taking people 7 to 14 days to run through all of their symptoms. And it's affecting people either digestively or respiratory. So now Frank and I got sick. We got better. Frank's grandfather got a bad cold and got better, or thought he got better. And then after we got the flu, when we were in urgent care, now if you listen to the show around that time, we'll tell you the urgent care doctor was very confused, and he had asked Frank if he traveled to the Middle East because he wasn't understanding why we were so sick. And I think something must have showed up on the test that he didn't tell us about, but he must have known this wasn't just the flu. Maybe they weren't aware of it. Maybe they didn't know, but I think we were exposed to it in 2019. And I think Pop was exposed to it because it doesn't make sense that Mom and Michelle would be sick and Pop wouldn't get sick.
That's what I'm saying.
Number one, right? So now we're both there. We're doing double duty because now we have to make sure they're both okay because they're both at risk. So we've been there.
Wait, hold on. There's more to this. Back when this was going on
in 2019,
Grandma was sick.
Grandma was very sick too.
Everyone was sick around us, and then it was taking so long
for everyone to get better.
For so long that it took the old cats that made it months. Like when you look back at it now,
because
you're
he
like,
was sick through Christmas.
Wow, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
There was this whole time, and I kept saying I started getting bad asthma. I went through 2 asthma pumps, and then had to get a machine. And
we bought a nebulizer,
and then it just went away.
And went away.
Just went away. I'm like, wait.
But for us, it took a month to cycle out. But we had gotten colds prior to that, and we thought they were just colds, and they went away. Now, Pop had pneumonia when he had to go into the hospital one of these times, and they gave him a broad spectrum antibiotic, and now he's fine. But he was sick from last November until January. So he quite possibly could have been exposed to the coronavirus then when we were, thankfully, because he did not get sick this time. And I think his mother was exposed to it as well. That's why she didn't get as sick.
It didn't blow.
And she tested negative twice. So I think she probably already had antibodies.
This was the thing, though. They said that if you walk through it, and I know there's a million things they said, but they also said you have antibodies to it. And I told Paula, and I told you guys too, the Fearless family, I announced this on air. I'm like, we're going to shut sickness down. We're going to somehow pull the cord, because under Aya and DMT and mushrooms, sometimes you'll see like we're connected to certain things, right? And Paula and I go under, or I go under, knowing contracts need to be cut. She does it. She doesn't have to do this. And I grow the Shiva arms out, and I'm like, oh, there's quite a lot of cords here. I don't know what any of these things are. Get off me.
You're not wanted anymore.
You're not wanted. But I noticed that each cord was attached to something derived of energy, which is a frequency. So every kind of energy, infinite colors, into infinite shades of the colors, infinite frequencies and vibrations in between, everyone gets one, right? Everyone's got their own little thing. Okay. Sickness is like on the, I gotta do this from this side.
Right.
No,
sorry.
This side. No, I'll come this way.
Sorry.
I just don't want it to look like I'm so sickness is on like this lower half thing, like right here is the density. That's as low as you go. You can't go any lower. Right. The sickness is like right here. All right. If we can shut those out, you're done. Now I announced I'm done with this. Boom, I pulled it out and was like, I still get other stuff, aches and pains constantly. So, but sickness, they were like, it's just a frequency, turn it off.
Right.
And I was like, well, cut the cord. They're like, you got to cut the cord.
Right.
No, you gotta do it. No, you gotta do it. You, Colonel Sanders. All right. So we're learning how to do this now. Instantly, our bodies, instead of getting hit 3 times, and I always talk about the energy that they use against us, or any kind of energy that happens to on the 3rd time you start to realize what's going on, and you're like, no, I don't think I'm going to have this anymore.
Right.
And
I'm
boom,
done with this.
I'm done with this.
Now
it's happening on the first one. You get hit once.
You don't even know.
And I gotta get away from me.
I gotta.
Now, as it's driving towards you and it like hits your aura, it's just burning up inside of that. It's like not getting to you.
Right.
But you still can't go put your mouth over someone and go, get ahead.
No, of course not. That's stupid. But
you can't do stuff like that.
No.
But as this gains momentum, eventually it will.
Don't put your mouth on it.
Don't
That you
lick the
don't know.
microphone. This is like the one time where I'm like, look, play with the yellow snow this time. Do not play with the other stuff. Shout outs to everyone that's joining us. So,
you want to shut the guy out? You did an interview the other night.
I gotta bring up
say hello to him? Not say hello to him.
Say hello.
I'm sorry. I took a nap before because I left his mom's house a little earlier and I had to feed cats, but that it was like wrangling cats. So I just fell asleep right before Frank got here. That's why we're late, because we're tired.
No,
we're tired.
You're tired.
I'm tired.
There you go. Oh, shout outs to Josh Carruthers, You the Magician. His group Chilton is the song Solar Warden, which is a pretty jam song, have a video for the song. I was like, Josh, when did you get this done?
That's
right?
Awesome.
He just sent it to me and I was like, oh, look at it. It's on my page on Facebook.
He's living his life.
So it's
awesome.
You know what? I could share the page with you. Hold on. Share screen.
Just make sure that cat doesn't jump. So while Frank is trying to share the screen, I've been feeding the wrong cat for the last couple of days. I've been feeding a new cat that I thought was our cat. And I don't know.
All right, I didn't join anything. I did an interview with Joe Roop the other night. It was on Lighting the Void. It was a 3-hour slam fest with me starting from the first minute of what the hell's going on with anything. And he said right before we started, he goes, I really want to get syndicated, Frank. Could we please? I love it, man. I love it, but you can't curse. So I go, we're not on the fucking air, right? And he goes, no, we're just talking. I go, oh, fucking God, it's good.
Oh, did you get it?
Wait, I pulled one of those. So I was like, oh, holy shit. And I'm doing it now on purpose because I don't care. Like, I'm not regarding anyone's rules anymore. Facebook rules or YouTube rules. No, I'm doing what I want. I'm not, Paula gave me that look. No, we're not doing it. No, I'm not taking my clothes off and running around naked in front of the crowd.
Thank you.
And screaming, ah! All right. However, I do want to tell the story the right way. So,
you know what? Leave that up for a minute so I could do this.
Sure. And I will tell the story a little bit.
Perfect.
You guys can go and check them out.
Yeah. Imagine what I'm doing.
They, so I went directly into, I got hurt, Wu-Tang, I did it kind of
like, I listened to it today. I listened to it this morning with my coffee.
And
it was excited. Like, oh my God, it was like you put Frank on fast forward and you just let him tell his story and they elapsed it into 3 hours. It was hysterical.
Lisa, we gotta knock Paula out at we gotta give her like sleeping pill at 2 p.m. and let her sleep till 2 to 8 o'clock at night. Then wake her up and then don't give her anything. And then you just, hey, Paula, you want some coffee? Yeah, let's have a donut.
Don't you know what I need? I need to see Ellen and she needs to come to the house.
Blunt on her at 11:55 and go, we're going live right now with Joe. And then that's when you jump in and she'll make it to 2. She'll make it to 2. Okay. She won't make it to 3, but she'll make it to 2.
I've been a little busy, just so everyone knows, cooking meals for the elderly. No, cooking meals, and I'm just
Bobtacular. I want to throw this out there.
We've
been
cooking
today, by the way.
Oh yes, yeah. We've been cooking. I've been cooking. Frank's been my prep chef, my sous chef.
Masters, you all know who you are, so I don't single anyone out and say, well, you're a master and you're not. You all know who you are now, right? Are all upgrading. And what are the symptoms of the upgrade?
Oh, it's terrible.
It's like an ayahuasca.
We had an anniversary. Back and forth and doing everything and we were going to do the show from the house, and then Frank fell asleep, and then I'm sitting there by myself with Pop watching TV, and he changes the channel. I can't even count how many times he changes the channel, but
no, he's
right. So now it's my anniversary. It's my anniversary. I already cooked. for everyone, cleaned up.
Give me this thing.
Whatever. Frank's sleeping. I'm sitting with Pop. I give him his nebulizer treatment. Now it's like 8:45. Frank gets up, and I'm like, I'm ready to cry. Like, it was just one of those horrible, just not a good day things. And I went home, and I thought I was going to sleep in these little motherfuckers, and I don't care either because
see what I'm saying?
These cats would not let me
from one
sleep.
of us to the next.
And I love them, but for the next 2 days, I did not feel like myself, and I was actually thinking about taking Oscar and a select few and just moving somewhere. And I'm like I was going to take my ball and go home.
Yeah, I know. The upgrade is intense.
And you're not going anywhere. You got to do what you got to do. So I could sit here and get upset all I want, but yes, thank you. It was 5 years.
Shout outs to Stephen, by the way, Stephen Flores, Fearless Family.
Thank you, Sam. And I hope you're feeling well too. I know you're not feeling well.
We did the lighting the board show with Joe because of you.
Because we got to close that hole up.
I appreciate that. Oh, Sam.
We're gonna close the hole
right up to this.
Yeah,
I've been working alongside a couple of you individually, and then as we work individually with one another, I bring you to as we're clean and clear, right? As I, from my perspective, I'm like, you ready? Let's go. And I bring the one that's healing and feels like, oh man, I'm healing up. I feel good today. I'm like, now you feel good? Perfect. We're going to take this show and we're going to go like this. Blip. Now we're going to work on you.
Right.
And then I go, okay, next, and calling in who we need to, what we need to, which, some will say a few things, because in the very beginning, I was the don't believe in angel guys. And you could listen from the first episode into the later episodes up to the point where I actually meet the angel. And they were like, dude, you have to stop saying we don't exist. If everything else is there.
Right.
I'm right here. Well, I've called them in to help a few times.
Right.
They do work. Beyond I've never.
But we talked about we talked about that, right?
That's they say you're not using Frank. I have to move this like this. Okay. Sorry. They're like, you don't use enough of your imagination. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, you, Frank, do not use your imagination. And I'm like, dude, I'm Mr. Superhero. I talked about this with the Fearless Family, and I'm like, I use my imagination. They're like, no, you really don't. So with that, I started freaking out. I'm like, what do you mean I don't use my imagination? You're telling me this guy and this girl and this everyone's
an angel came to you on your back porch,
and it wasn't
and had
my third
a 3-hour conversation with you that your mother heard from her bedroom because you didn't believe him. So you didn't believe it.
No, I was.
You had to open the Bible. You had to open it. Open your mind.
Those stories were so much a lie that I had to throw the baby out with the bathwater with that one due to my upbringing.
Right.
However, I've been, and there's episode after episode about me and Archangel Michael, and I don't call him Archangel Michael. I don't call them archangels. I know the difference between what the AI shows you, which is what a lot of hosts talk about when they're like, oh, the archangels are the AI. I'm like, for everything that you show me that's an AI, I show you the thing it copied or made a copy. It looked at and went, I want to be like that, but I can't be. So I'm going to make a phony copy of it.
Right.
And then that's what you've been dealing with.
Right.
Because Michael rolled right up on so many occasions where it was like, AI, you're about to be doomed. And then you call to the Michael, and I'm still trapped in the bubble, and this fake character showed up, and then the real one just walks in, and everything stops. Everything stops. You're like, wait a second, you're that potent? He's like, well, it's almost like when you're like, you're real. He's like, of course I'm real. I'm the real deal. It's me and you. I got you. And you're like, wait, you're organic. You have. And I was so confused. And then the sword, the flaming sword that he uses and everything, guess what? You get all that. But when you're confused with your imagination, this is what I did. With my imagination, is it stuffed? Well, I'm going to need another perspective. Let's call someone in, right? Because Paula telling me, you're not being imaginative enough, or maybe isn't enough. I need something out of the ordinary.
I don't think I've ever said that to you.
No, I know that's a weird one.
Yeah.
Because I think my imagination is pretty much off the charts.
Right.
but they're like, nah, you're not using that.
Right.
You're talking about stuff, but
because
you're not.
we talk about those
And
angels
shout outs
all
to
the
Aaron.
time, right?
Aaron's like, throw it in the vortex.
Right.
Like I've been slam dunking
Right.
vortex shots lately.
Right. And that's what you have to do, because if one thing is real, it's all real.
Yeah.
It's all real, or it's all not real. And that's a very difficult thing to grasp. Like, you have to accept it all of it, the good, the bad, the dirty parts, the parts that make us want to be sick. Like, we have to accept it all.
And all the stuff that you're like,
and all the beauty
that's
as
not
well,
real,
but
whatever,
you
get outta
have to
here.
accept
That's
it
gotta
all
be totally
in order to wrap your mind around the little that they let us see around the rest of it, because we all each only get a little piece of it. So we have to really take a lot on faith in order to put all these puzzle pieces together.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, you can't possibly see what's coming ahead. The idea is, it's like chess moves. You have to be able to play a couple of moves ahead. And that's like what Frank and I did with this preparedness for this time right now.
We talked
it's weird.
from the beginning, and I'll just mention it all really quick. You need fresh water, you need storable food,
cash on hand, yeah.
Maybe Bitcoin, gold, silver, whatever that means
just
across the board.
Preparedness.
You need an abundance closet. You need some extra towels,
an opportunity to be
ayahuasca buckets.
Yeah, and an opportunity to be resilient and go with the flow. Like,
get ready to plant stuff and go.
People have been having panic attacks all over the place. And last week I had a panic attack. It's just.
But what's actually happening? Look,
right.
Some of us are nervous, right? And then, when I mean some of us, I mean the world, right? And others are having the panic attack. And I've never really. Why am I having a panic attack? I literally am abundance. I know I'm abundance.
Right, but it's weird to have.
That's the upgrade.
It's weird. It is. It's one. Yes, one. It's an upgrade. Yes, there's a lot.
That's you holding on to that
being shared right now.
Last level you were on, thinking we're pretty high up, and they're like, no, you're not. Go to the next.
Yes, one. That's why we could be having panic attacks, but also.
Oh well, that's crazy stuff too.
What's happening is now everyone is. Now we were all forced to change our routines. And that's not difficult. That's difficult. Staying home a few days because, someone tells you to stay home, or it's, bad weather, or, but now weeks and, going into months, it's a lot. My sister's been home with her 2 kids, and like, I text her every now and then, and I'm like, hey, did you eat one of them yet? And she's like, Paula, I'm pushing through. I love my family, but I'm with them 24/7. Like, I want to kill them, but I love them, but, and she's doing homework, and, my nephew's got college work, and she's working from home. So she can't get a break no matter what she does, and like Frank and I had it so lovely right before we got the phone call.
2 weeks. We did 2 weeks of getting to know each other.
It was like
on a level of, we were like children. Just having a great
it was
time.
So weird. It was like a big sleepover. It was so strange.
It was a sleepover that never ended.
And then it's like,
we couldn't believe it. We were like, we'd wake up and be like,
but
I love you.
But that's why and now it's like we just high five and we just shift change.
I just want to say something funny, because I know we're all going through it, and I use me and my people as the example, but my favorite so far on this whole thing, because I had one freak out the whole time, just one, and it was on my brother, but not on him. Right. So but the first one that made me laugh so hard was when I called him, and I was like, hey, what's up? And he's like, what is it, bro? Right? And I'm like, what's the matter? I'm just trying to heat up the coffee. So I'm trying to explain to him how to heat the coffee up without the microwave, because the mic was broke.
Oh,
and
I hear
my nephew and niece in the background, like, ha, 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 right? And I'm like, oh, he's going to just lose it.
He's going to explode.
And my brother, he said, hold on 1 second, right? And just let it out. And then I hear my sister immediately go, I'm standing right here. Right? And I went, hey man, you could just warm it up on the thing and whatever. And then I'm like, I talked to him for like 2 minutes.
In a
I'm
pot
like,
on the stove.
man,
Just put a pot on the stove.
I love you, man. Don't let it get to you. Screw the microwave. We don't even use it. You'll be great. All right, I gotta go.
Yeah, and he just.
And then I was like, hey, Paula. It was like I was over here and it was crazy. Like, it just exploded. And then I just hung it up and the portal closed. And then I like danced back into the living room, like, dun, 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 dun. Everything's okay, dun, 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 right? Because it was.
Because we were okay, because we like each other,
is.
you know, and it's like, we don't.
Still is.
It's just funny because we were just like, and then Frank called one other time and they were playing a board game as a family. They were all playing together, which I thought was very sweet. So I go, oh, that's so sweet, right? And he goes, they were screaming at each other. He said I had to get off the phone because they were yelling while they were playing this board game, and he's on the phone and they were yelling at each other. And I was like, why were they yelling? And he goes, I don't know. I didn't hang around long enough to find out.
Yeah. All right.
Know.
So we talk about entering. All right. I want to explain this without sounding like a creep against other people, but we talk about entering drama zones. Like,
yeah.
So if you're holding a vibration and a frequency and I can't handle it, I just leave. I don't, you know, back in the day we'd all argue or enter the zone and go, you is that what they did to you with the coffee?
Right.
Oh, we got to go right now, bro. We got to handle this. Right. Now it's just, hey man, if we can't do it like this,
right,
I'm out.
And right. And Frank and I have been there too, because if you remember from earlier shows, I've been with Frank for 5 years.
Oh yeah, happy anniversary on air, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Years.
Happy anniversary, 5 years. Fuck you, haters. And I'm saying it because tonight I just don't give a shit. I really don't.
There was a lot of negativity of Paul and I being together.
So fuck you, haters, but everyone else I love. I don't even hate the haters. I'm just, it's just, you know what? I'm never this person, so go fuck yourselves. I still know it's you.
I know. I'm looking in the camera doing that. And I'm like, nah, there's no, I got to be like the superhero with no hat, just the beard, maybe a hood.
Right.
And then just throw off the hood. And they're like, oh, it's this bold motherfucker. And then,
So Frank and I have been together. So we've been together 5 years and we've gone through a lot of coffee pots because Frank likes to drink coffee. And we've talked about this in previous shows. And there was this one time we had lost a coffee pot and it was like just a weird, the timing was weird. I was still working. It was weird. And we had ordered a coffee. I ordered a coffee pot on Prime. And in the meantime, we were making coffee in a pot on the stove and like pouring it through a strainer. And it was like Little House on the Prairie. And I remember Frank just being so gracious.
I just felt that time jump. Like,
Frank was just being so gracious because I was taking the time to make, he didn't have to walk to the store and buy coffee. I was making it on the stove. And Frank is just telling his brother, just pour the cup in a pot and put it on the stove and turn it on. Like, and wait till it
3 minutes.
Not even.
The whole process
will be done. You will have already had coffee.
He couldn't understand that. But it's okay because but it ends with
yeah, I forgot why I was even.
He goes, This is what made me get off the phone with him. He goes, and I go, oh, what'd you just eat? Right? What did you just drink? And he goes, oh, this coffee's delicious. And I go, and I realized 3 minutes had passed. Yeah, and I go, how'd you get the coffee done? He goes, oh, I just threw it on the pot. Just did it. It was done. So
animal. That's what he was trying
in
to
that moment, right? It was the realization of where I'm at,
right,
and how it has to work,
right.
Okay, you did it. Now drop the seed.
You know why? Because you're not an infant and you're not crying out for a bottle. Get the fucking pot, put the coffee in it, and shut the fuck up. Like,
all right, but this is a metaphor for the whole thing.
It is a metaphor, like me. Okay, like today it was very hard leaving the house today. Did not want to leave. I wanted to stay home. But I had responsibility. I had things I had to do there. I had to cook. If it was a night, like maybe tomorrow I might stay home. I don't know, because I cooked today. So
you don't have to work that out on there. It's really not.
I'm working it.
Concern.
No. But the point. See, you constantly make me forget why. there was a reason I was mentioning this. You know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you
No,
were
no,
just...
no. I'm not just working shit out on air. No, I'm saying there's a reason I was doing this. So like, I think a lot of people felt that way today. They felt the dread.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They felt
Today
the
was...
heaviness and they felt the dread.
My
Because I felt
grandfather
it.
woke up. He was
Yeah,
like, "Wah."
Pop woke up very
It took
late.
me an hour to start
Pop
moving
woke up
my
late.
body.
Frank was
That was
a mess this morning. It took a very long time to pull it together. It took so long that I listened to the interview that he did the other night while I was having coffee. And
yeah, shout, Joe's in the room.
Oh, that's great. That's great. It really was a good interview. I listened to it.
I can't
was
wait
funny
to come back and do some more.
Whenever Frank tells a story, like people are like, "How did you meet Paula?" He was like, "Well, do you want to hear that story? Or do you want to hear the real story?" And then there's always boobs being mentioned, and I'm like, I just chuckle.
There's something to when you look over at your two guides and they're bugging out, they already look like
I get it,
weirdos, right? And then you look over and there's a cat woman in a space outfit with gigantic boobs, and you're just like Thundercats, right. Thundercats, and everyone's ignoring you,
right?
Because the lioness could
just totally
beat everyone's ass in the room. And I'm like, did you see the rack? And then they were like, dude, calm down. I'm like, no, but you see that, right? And they're like, no, she's standing right there. And I'm like, I know. Yeah. I'm gonna go talk to her. Hold on.
I'm smart.
Wish me luck, buddy.
I'm smart and funny too.
Oh, that's so awesome though.
Yeah, anyway, but it was a good interview, and I
but that's what it is.
But it was nice. It's nice to see him in the room. That's nice.
Tell the story. That's why it's so good, right? It's not this. The story is the story, right? We each have the story in us.
Yeah, it is. It's what
Paula
it is.
and I just started when we started, and then we backed it up 2 years because it took a year to do it, and then it took a year to catch up to get back to like right.
Remember, it took a while.
We were talking about weeks before we had material.
Oh yeah, we had. It took like a year to catch up.
Yeah,
and then it took a year to catch up. And then it took about another probably
it took
3 or 4 months before we were even talking about anything.
Because we would take a week off, right? And then in that week we'd have like 3 ayahuasca sessions out of nowhere and then when we have the ayahuasca sessions and they were multiple days, and if it would cross over the show, you could never get the material out in 1 hour, right? We were doing it in 1 hour spurts with the 2 breaks.
Yeah, so it was
Chris screamed. He was like, "Do the 2 hours." I'm like, "No,
it was hard. You know why it was hard? Because it
was hard to talk about this.
It took a while. I think it took a while to find a groove. Not a groove, not between us, but
no, we did too.
It did take a while.
Yeah, when we went to video, it really like ultra developed. Like it was as if you never not were there when you weren't on camera. It's like, I don't know, maybe you think it's a job, right? If you're like, it's jobby, but now
I don't think it's jobby.
Now you're being looked at by somebody other than me, but you're like hyper involved.
No, you know why? I don't think it's jobby. I don't think that it's it. I don't think that's it at all. Anyone who really knows me,
purposeful, maybe not jobby.
People that know me know, like. And yeah, my Bronx is out tonight. You know why? It was a long 2 weeks. I'm tired.
So a super spy from outer space is
I found out.
We'll say a bazillion things to make you think I just really don't want to talk.
Okay.
I don't want people to know about my life. Like I just don't. You know, it's not that I don't care, because I have. Everywhere.
I'm trying to tell you, but you're talking, so no one can hear.
I'm just trying to point out the obvious, right?
Okay. All right, it's not obvious. No.
I mean, he just puts glasses on, right? Clark Kent.
Right. No one knows who the fuck he is.
How do you not know
that? How do you know that's not Superman?
They're still 6'4".
They look alike. Yeah. I mean, he's a beautiful specimen of a man.
The hair is exactly the same.
Anyway, and his hair doesn't move.
Yo, listen, she's like Kaiser Sose, right? She's got the little thing going on, and then as she leaves the police station, she gets into that, "Oh, I'm fine" rhythm, right? And you're like, oh, it was her.
Oh God, I feel like a broken doll today. Anyway, so what was I saying? So you fuck me up again. You do that to me. You did that to me. It's so funny. Anyway, I don't really want anyone to know who I am. I don't know why. I don't need you to know who I am.
No, I know.
Like you don't need to know who I am.
But that's why the story is perfect. right?
Yeah, I
Because
don't
you
give a
just
shit. Yeah,
you're not real. Yeah, for as
I
personal
really
as you
don't.
get,
Yeah,
you
I could
just
get personal. You ask me a question, I'll give you an answer. I could get personal, but like, I think to me, and it's funny because people don't get it. Like Frank loves the camera, and the camera loves Frank back. Like he was made to be seen on camera. Like
but I've
I
been doing
love,
this stuff since I'm a little
but I
kid,
love watching you on video. Like
right?
sometimes I watch the videos. Like if you have an interview, I'll listen to it. When you do a
Oh, I appreciate
meditation,
that.
I watch it or I listen to it. Like you went live.
Shout outs to Robert Hawley
You
for
went
the
live.
ultimate
I didn't
meditation
watch it
again.
until today, but I watched it and you were a little angry. I noticed I wasn't mentioned that much. When Frank is in love with Paula, Paula's name is mentioned the whole time. If Frank doesn't like Paula, it's like, meh.
Meh.
Yeah, it's all me. Yeah. No, it's fine. But
I never leave you out of the stuff, the good stuff.
yeah, okay. I heard your meditation.
What?
No, I wasn't mentioned.
Oh, I
Yeah,
get it.
I get
I
it, yeah.
see.
Anyway,
She'll go, "Oh, you had a show. You did the thing last night." I'll be like, "Yeah." She goes, "You talk about me." I'll be like,
Yeah.
"I always talk about you." She's
Yeah.
like, "No, you don't." I'm like,
No, you don't.
"Wow."
No, you don't. No.
It always gets into how I know you. By the way, we've been
What?
for as much as we're playing around, right? We're playing catch up and having fun on camera tonight and playing around.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got some stuff to tell you guys because in my downtime, I went nuts in a good way, and I had crazy things happen all over the place. I'm going to tell you about all of them.
Are we talking about you now? Or
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're back to you again.
Back to me again. So I really don't care if anyone knows who I am. And Angela Miller actually helped me find out why. And I don't think I'll be sharing it.
And that's the part where Superman flies right into the telephone booth, right? And then he
Exactly.
spins real quick, and then Clark Kent walks out, and you go,
Exactly.
and then he just walks away.
Exactly.
That's
And
exactly what it's like, right? When the real ones do it. I'm just letting you know now, because for as much as you like seeing Frank with the Punisher shirt, talking all the, and Paul is just like, yeah, I don't need anyone to know what's going on here, right? Because as you can see,
I talked about Paula on the LTV chat. Oh, Alyssa Brittany. So
greetings, Nicholas.
right before our anniversary, the week before, I had spoken about my shoulder, how I had stopped taking my anti-inflammatory.
Oh, yeah.
So now it is 3 full weeks, no anti-inflammatory. I have to say, week 1 was a bear. Week 1 was very difficult. Week 2, bad. Week 3, less bad. I'm sure week 4 will be even less bad. And Sam and Lexi were nice enough to send us joint ease pills, muscle ease roll on, cold and flu roll on, joint ease roll on, an inhaler, and these beautiful instructions. I gotta go
See,
this way.
opposite
I
side.
know, opposite
it happened
side,
to you.
I know. With these beautiful instructions. I mean, they're these roll-ons and essential oils, and I've been using them every day, and they have been helping. I mean, I'm very.
Do they have a website?
She didn't share a website with me, but Lexi is in the room right now. So if she wants to send us something,
send us links.
Yeah, send us a link and we'll put it up. And or you could put it up in the Fearless room, but please send it, and Frank will put it up right now. And they have been helping. And there was another nice lady, what was her name, that contacted Frank in an email, and then I called and texted, but I couldn't get through to her. Now, I don't know if she responded to Frank in email because he's been at his mom's house. I couldn't find her on Messenger because I didn't know which one she was.
Yeah, well, thank you very much though for
Yeah,
putting
thank
it
you
out
for
there.
offering, to help. Wendy, thank you, Wendy. I did try to contact you, email and text, not email, text you and call you, but it didn't go through. I know Frank, I think, emailed you, but I
It's no
don't
big
know.
deal. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you very much, though.
Thank you.
Oh, it's
Oh,
on the
there she is
way.
right
Oh,
there.
thank you, Wendy. You didn't have to stay. That was very nice of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm willing to try anything, but I have to say, I like being off the anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, that was the point.
Everything
The
hurt. Everything
anti-inflammatory was the
hurts.
big. All right, if there's big steps in your
Yeah, that's a
process
big one,
where
and
you're
I
like,
just
I don't
decided
know if I can do that.
we watched Joe Rogan on a Friday.
Yes.
And on a Saturday I stopped,
I
or a
forgot
Saturday and Sunday.
who was on his show, and the guy was like, that specific thing is no good for you.
Yeah.
And you heard that and were like, who's he talking about? And you listened to it.
Yeah, that's why I asked for the Tylenol today.
And
Because
then
we have to get rid of the Advil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Angela Miller came here and you did
She performed a healing on me, and wow.
all this other stuff in you started to like
all this other
occur.
stuff came out. All this other stuff came out.
She's an aggressive little bunny rabbit.
I
by
really
the way.
am. I really am. And Frank said, like, it's funny because when we argue, Frank's like, why are you pushing up on me?
Yeah, she does this thing where she's pushing up on me.
And,
like,
and Angela Miller did a healing on me, and she said, I am going to ask you questions and you answer with the first thing that comes to your head, no hesitations. And that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really.
She said, you liked being a man more than a woman.
Sending you positive vibes.
And I said, yes, I did. I had more power. And
it said in the background, between men, you should have a woman that loves you enough to hold you down and tries to hump you. Like, oh, if I only had one, you'd get it, man. And then it just flashed back at me because Paula is like that. She'll come up to me and be like,
I'm very aggressive like that.
If I had, right? And I'm like, hey, right? And then my boy Richie Johnson saw that once and was like, what are you doing? He came up to me. He's like, what? Getting older, huh? Getting into some weird shit? I'm like, no.
She's just very aggressive.
She's just very aggressive that way. He goes, yeah, I see what you like. I'm like, no. You don't understand. And he's like, no, I understand perfectly. I'm like, no, you don't get it. He's like, no, I get it. I completely understand. I grew up with you. I'm like, no. So.
Yeah. So Lexi, please, thank you. And tell Sam, thank you for taking the time to make me something special. But please let us know. Because
I'll promote it.
Because we'll promote it, and I want to buy more. I mean, the muscle roll on, Right, so I've been smattering it everywhere.
When it comes to a thing where who can you trust, right? And what's happening?
Who can you trust?
So we know we don't trust pharmaceutical companies.
Mm-mm.
Okay, all right, we might need some stuff.
I do need.
Right?
I take my I take my antispasmodic
because maybe you are damaged physically in a way.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
I didn't mean you. I meant someone in the world.
No, I didn't.
So don't feel bad if you need to have something.
But I do. I have to take my antispasmodic. I don't have to.
Brian?
Is that? Look, I told you I've been feeding the wrong cat for a
Brian.
couple of days, and now he just walked in the house. He can't stay. He's got balls. He can't stay. He's not fixed.
She goes, he's got balls. He can't stay.
Oh, I said that on it. I forgot. Get out of that.
Yeah.
You can't stay. Get out of here.
Oh, those are cute little ones, though.
Yeah, no.
He's got to sing it. Swing it on the front porch, swing it on the lawn, swing it where we want, because there ain't nobody home. Go, Brian. Yeah, so you don't know who to trust. You don't know the chemicals that people are putting in or whatever. And then you have a community, right? A community of people. We get together in one way or another, and wonderful things start happening, right? You kind of grow together through the experiences, and as that goes on, now we're in a lockdown moment, right? So everyone's got to be creative. Well, what does everyone do? Well, everyone has a specialty, right?
Yes.
You have a whole lot of them, right?
Oh my
So
God.
check it out. You get to put them in play prior to doing the cooking, right? Which is right. We were talking about Gordon Ramsay being
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, this is snap. This is really good.
I
right?
made a Cornish hen for your mother yesterday. It was the first solid food that she ate, and I split her in half.
She lost her shit. She was like, yo,
Gordon Ramsay would have been proud.
this
I'm
is
telling
amazing.
You.
And I'm
telling
like,
you.
I know. She does this every
I know.
single day. Even the whack stuff is not whack. Like it doesn't go there. And she's like, so I was like, yo. But prior to that, you were doing all these other little things around here.
Oh yeah, the crafting and stuff. Yeah.
But it's really good.
Uh-huh.
Right. And then I was watching this accelerated process now with me. Oh, thank you so much.
That's so sweet.
Now sending positive vibes, Jamie. Right?
He's cute.
Like I started doing the mantras with Robert.
Oh, is that your lady?
Hmm?
Is that your lady? Put her up.
Who?
Nikki Colombo.
Yeah.
That's your girl.
Oh, I'm working my way through everyone. Hi, Nikki. How you doing? Shout outs to Australia.
That's awesome.
You can check out Nikki on TFR. I think she's on later tonight.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So we build. Thank you everybody so much.
That's very
we
sweet.
Build these communities, and naturally you're like, well, I can do this and I want to sell it to the whole world, right? And I'm like, well, I want to do this and sell it to the whole world. And then you're like, I want to do this. And then we're like, well, it never fucking works to the whole world, right? But I know what I want to do, but and then you go and you really refine it a little bit. And then you find yourself in a community that we've been building that whole time. And you go, hey guys, I have this.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, you see the demand in there. You're like, well, I would rather get it from you maybe than Amazon.
Exactly.
If it's that kind of thing.
That's why I said if
I could read the ingredients, but you're doing it live right
and
there.
And Wendy also, if you have a site, send it.
Yeah,
send it. We'll
together.
Put it up.
We should be doing this.
Sharing information.
Yeah, the whole idea is to rise together, right? Like I don't see anyone as competition. I just don't see it.
No.
Unless you're playing against me in like a basketball game, which you won't see me playing.
No.
You're not.
There's no competition.
And then if we're playing each other, it's still a fun competition thing. It's not like I'm not trying to comp with you, right? Like I'm not. Oh, this podcast. Oh, I got to have more ratings. I don't need none of that shit. I'm on the optimum timeline right here for me. Frank, are you happy? Yeah. Well, why are you so happy when you can have 10,000 over the 400, 300? And it's like, because I'll take, I didn't get to tell the story.
It's a trust thing. Yeah.
Take your 300 over the 10,000 any day because we can trust them. How do you know you can trust them? Because
it's still here.
Well, first, not only are we still here and we made it, the things we've done together, we've grown a bond and we understand what we all seem to know what we want out of life. And then naturally I can't make the stuff that you make. Like I'm in the Bronx. There's no planting. We got to do everything in the house and buckets, and we got only a certain amount of spots, but there's
outside,
a lot of people don't have that problem, right? So they're like, no, you do it like this, and and I'm like, oh, that's how
share
you do
what
it.
You know.
Share what you know,
share what you
right?
know.
And then let me buy it from you, right? So you will have customers and returning customers because I need that, and I have this over here, and maybe you like that, right? And then we start getting from each other,
right?
Remember when Rihanna showed us the wands?
Yes.
First time.
Yes.
Right. I don't think she's doing them right now, but I was like, wow, we have to show that you can do that, and that if that's what you have. Because when we get further into this, we're not going to be going out there to get. We're going to be getting it from in here, and we're going to be creating it, or we're going to know how to do it. And there'll be some stuff there that we get from out there naturally. But it's not going to be what it is now. Everything's going to change. There's no more normal coming back. What's normal? All right, so normal sounds like when people tell me what normal is, especially in school, right? You go to school, you stand up, sit down. We used to have to salute the flag if you walk
It's
by
a system
it.
of regime.
And then the other flag was on the other side, and you had to do this if you walk by a cross, right? I got 10 things to do
Yeah.
before I got to just take a leak. I want to walk out of the fucking classroom and go to the bathroom. I got to
Come
stop 6 times and fucking genuflect and bow and fucking yes, master, no master. And they're like, it's not master, it's Jesus. Oh, space Jesus, here he is. He's oh, I got to just be. Sorry. We're in lockdown. It's only 10:41.
Oh,
it's okay. And we're in the Bronx.
Okay.
So
All right.
fight me. I don't remember what I was going with that. What was I saying? Do you remember?
You confused me with the space Jesus.
Space Jesus, that's what it is. You just want to go to the bathroom, and you got all these different things.
That was it.
That are that bind you and lock you into things.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm just like, yo, release all. Ejection time. We're at. How do we cross the finish line? How do we cross the finish line? At top speed. We're not going to slow down because we think we might not win.
Right.
We even in last place, you're crossing the finish line in first place.
You push it through.
I'm gonna do it, and I cannot do it with bullshit attached to me. That's basically what this comes down to. So we want to promote our people that know what they're doing,
of course,
that have the know-how. I trust you, creator. I don't trust it when it gets watered down 60 times.
It really sucks.
Just like music, when Beyonce doesn't write her own music, right? So you have 60 fucking producers on a song. Maybe not 60. It might be like 6. However, that's 6 people writing the song
that have to get paid.
And then when you look at the song, it's like 5 lyrics over and over again, and then a new set of lyrics that are just garbage, and then a new set of garbage lyrics, and that's all them writing, right? And then you look at Freddie Mercury. You look at Freebird, you look at something like that, and you go, oh, I think I see the difference here.
It's a 4-minute song.
Right? We have to bring it back to that internal tribe.
Yep.
Just let the creator create, and then unless you're like, yo, we can make this better and more efficient by just pressing this or doing this or adding that, then just let it go down. And then you have it because it's coming through their gnosis of what they like. I connect to Mother Nature, Aya, Gaia, whatever, before I do anything most days. And if the creativity is coming up and through that, it's almost like it's highly justified and awesome, just because it's like okay across the board.
Right.
You get the okay to go, let it go. Right? Release. Don't be afraid. Launch yourself out. So outside of your comfort zone, you find it. So we get together, we create the safe, sacred space, and then we go into this binding relationship with each other. I need you.
Yeah, we need each other.
I think I was talking to Aaron about this, like, or I was saying,
is that the cat crying?
Someone's crying. I heard something.
Bear. I'll be right back.
I need all of you to get up and stand up, whatever that means to you. And you're like, well, I'm already standing up. It's like, no, I want each and every one of you to shine so we can shine together, because there's no Superman. We talk about Space Jesus. Jesus is great. The character, the avatar, he's a good guy and everything. And what did he say? Don't believe anything they said about me. They've changed it over and over again, but believe that you can do all these things that I've never even had a chance to do or whatever. You're going to do it in the physical. Okay. That's awesome. Right. And I'm a superhero guy, and I'm like, wow, but with great power comes great responsibility, right? Spider-Man can't do it alone. The Punisher can't really do it alone. You can't do it alone. You can't.
Do you want more coffee? I'll make it.
We need maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot though.
Okay. I'll make
because I'll keep drinking it,
I'll make like 6 cups.
Sure. Okay. You gonna have some?
Yeah, I'm gonna have another cup.
Nice. So I need you to pop off. So it's more like, we're forming the Avengers at one point, right? And you got those like in the superhero, you got the street level guys, then you got the next set of guys, they'll handle like an alien invasion. Then you got the space guys that are already out there that are like, they see that stuff all the time. They're trying to keep planets from blowing up, all the way down to the person that helps Aunt May cross the street. We all have to be active and activated. And it's
okay, so this is how I feel about stuff. So when I do a show like lighting the void, and I'm talking to Joe, I want Joe to shine, right? I want to shine, but I want him to shine. So it's like in the comic, Superman meets Batman, right? So I'm in the Superman comic doing my thing, and then I roll into the up to him, and we meet at the same bat time, same bat. Oh, look, it's Batman, and then like that comic's not gonna suck. It's gonna be fucking awesome. And you're going to want to look at it. You're going to want to look at it. You're going to want to read it. But what is it? What's the content in it? We're back around the campfire again. And this is what Aaron was doing recently. Shout outs to Space Jesus, like around the campfire. What is the campfire, by the way? Right, I'm going to bug you out right now because this is one of the things I spoke about the other day about portals, right? What is fire? It's an energy. It's a frequency. And where are these portals everyone talks of? Well, they seem to be everywhere. They're everywhere. And they say, well, when you're going to learn to create and manifest, you're going to talk to like the single molecule, the little aspect of the smallest nothing. And you're going to ask that to do something, and it's just going to do it. I'm like, yeah, all right, but what is that? It's like a pixelated version, right? I shrink down into my hand. I go all the way down to microscopic. Nothing's touching. There are all these circular little sphere things spinning. They look like Saturn. And then bloop, 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 bloop. They change. Bloop, 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 bloop. Your DNA changes and expands. Bloop, bloop. They spin differently. Different frequencies, different tensions, different dimensions are reached. Oh, so they're portals. I'm going to get back to the fire. So everything realizing, whoa, wait a second. So I'm sitting by the fire. Now, I wasn't sitting by the fire. I watched his video. But we were talking about how to create fire in your hand. And he said, just talk to the one little thing and create it. Well, what is that thing doing? Am I making it out of thin air? No. No. Everything already exists. Well, where the fuck is it? Right? Well, it's wherever it is. If you get too much into the minutia and the details, you're going to get confused on the topic and what you're trying to do. Check this out.
Oh, did I press the button?
Hi, 3B. So as you're sitting there, listening to the fire crackle and all that, I realized that there's a stone circle around the fire. And the fire's going inside the circle. Now, Ra, shout outs to Eye of Ra on TFR. His show was earlier tonight. He brought his flame bowl here, and he lit it in front of me.
Really?
And I didn't.
Oh, that's right.
Here,
that's right.
And then it spoke to me. So I tell Ra all the time, we're actual brothers. Our DNA is linked, mine and his. So, he's like, if the DNA is linked, you'll be able to read the bowl through the fire. So there's this little thing. He puts oil on it, and it goes until the oil burns out. And if it's important or whatever, the ancestor, if I don't know if you're connected to the DNA. You can see your ancestors or something in the fire. So he lights it, and instantly I'm like looking, and I'm like, everyone be quiet. And boom, my ancestors came out of the fire. They were in the fire, like fire beings, but it was just them. It was like reflections of them in the, the outlines of them. And they were dancing, and they were like, hey. And I'm like, oh, so we are related. So I'm not full of shit.
Wild.
And they're like, yes, yes. And we're your ancestors. But guess what? It's you. And you, like us here, it was me, you, and him.
Yeah,
it's you. Like you carry all of us inside of you.
Yes.
Right. So you're doing it not our way. You have to do it your way with our information as a total. This is where the neo-shamanistic stuff comes from. Everybody laughs. Oh, he thinks he's Neo from the Matrix. Oh, he thinks he's a shaman. But neo-shamanin is taking from every single thing.
Exactly. And it's funny because you know how
need.
we always make the superhero analogies. Tony Stark watches a video, an actual reel-to-reel video of his father, and his father says in the video, the technology of this time is not there yet. I'm counting on you to be able to finish my work. The technology of my time is holding me back. You know,
it does something to him. He hits the upgrade button at that point.
But that's why
what he has to do.
That's why all of this information is within us. We just have to unlock it. all of the information is there. You forget nothing. You're just not allowed to remember it.
So check. Yes.
You have to go in and dig it out.
So here, take this. So where I want to get back to fire. I'm sorry.
That's right. That's right.
Sorry. So where are these things? What is this thing? What is fire? Right. So here, Aaron's in the room right now. Beautiful definition of fire provided by a TED Talk video. Doing this is super profound. Fire is your sensory perception of a chemical process we all call combustion. Super amazing shit. Yes. However, add that to now something new. Fire is already burning in a place, in a dimension made of fire.
Ever present for existence, right? Burning.
It's there already.
It's there.
You're building the combustible device
it exists
to
forever.
Open the portal.
Yes.
There's your portal. And all right, so
to go get it.
Check this out. Fire spreads if you don't contain it. Just like if CERN rips open a portal, doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, and then shit starts bleeding in and bleeding out. It's the same concept.
Oh, it's like that movie, The Mist.
That was get out of my head. So, like The Mist,
that's right. You remember that movie?
They open the portal, the mist comes out, they don't contain it, and then in mist, the beings come out, but the mist is actually the portal itself. Yes. Because at the end, when they're clearing up the smoke, it like sucks back in. And as it disappears and dissipates, the animals can't come out no more. They don't actually kill the animals to stop what was released.
They went after
what had to stay in the mist because that was the boundary of the dimension.
And what did they eat? They ate fear.
And if you were scared,
they ate on your fear.
They fucking found you. So the mother in the beginning of the movie
has to get home to her kids. And she says, will no one help me go home? And the men were too afraid. And she got, in the end of the movie, she got home.
She fucking ran.
She was more
through the mist.
Because she was worried about her children, not about herself.
She made it and got her kid.
Yes.
And you're like, wait a second. Is that the chick from the beginning of the movie? Because the guy, I'm not going to spoil the movie. It was amazing, but it was actually really fucked up. But knowing what I know now.
Right.
What do you mean? It bleeds out? It echoes out? Okay, now go back to the fire again. So,
Lexi's sitting in front of the fire right now.
Okay, so the fire, you build the fire pit, right? You have tools that allow you, and they're combustible, and it's made of wood and all this stuff. This is fucking alchemy to open a portal to a place that exists in a frequency that it's constantly burning, just always fire there. And as the fires rage, sometimes the portal just opens, it escapes, it runs wild. But you notice that everything is working together. Sometimes you get portals, not sometimes. You could go down the block and the entire energy changes, and the people act differently over there.
Absolutely.
And you're like, hey, wait a second. All right, here's another one. You're walking down the street in Manhattan. I'm going to go in this nightclub. You open this door. It's a portal into. I could wear a mask in here, and I could dance naked with capes.
Every doorway is a portal.
So every single doorway is a portal. Every place is a portal. So now everything exists in an energetic frequency. So now you have. I'm going to bring it around now to superheroes again.
Right.
In Thor, we learn of the realms. You notice that each realm, and including some of the characters, are all based on Earth, fire,
Jotunheim, and Jotunheim.
So, I don't know how to say it. I do know how to say it. I don't know which one it is, but the frost giants. Loki,
I think that's
is
Jotunheim.
From Jotunheim.
Yeah.
Okay, what is Jotunheim? It's a place that can only be accessed through
a portal.
Where? That when he takes the sword, jams it down into the machine, and it creates a rainbow bridge, which is what you are. You're the sword, you're the connection, you're the rainbow bridge, right? Because Thor has the axe in the last movie, and the axe allows him to do it himself. He was never able to do it himself until he turned into the rainbow god with the Odin force.
And it's just like she said, regular girl. It's because you say it is.
Right,
because
exactly.
He said it was. He declared it.
Now, you go to Jotunheim. In all the cartoons, in all the comic books, if I open a portal to Jotunheim, the frost giants start pouring out, and guess what else starts pouring out? Ice cold, right? So everything around starts freezing, right? It starts just bleeding out. And then what do they have? The casket of ancient winters. Well, what are these guys? Well, this is where cold comes from, right? So the hell fire guy, right? Who's the hellfire guy where the fire is burning all the time? Surtur. It was the flaming head job to stab the thing and reset the whole movie at the end of Ragnarok.
Because it's ever Present.
fire guy, right? Yes, ever present.
Yeah.
They live in a frequency where they're all burning and on fire and running through like a hell situation, but it's not hell to them. It's their place. It's like what's going on there. So when you open a portal up to this place, that stuff starts bleeding out, just like the fire would start just coming out. So I'm watching this over and over and over again, and it's in everything. So I'm like, wait a second. So everything's a portal, everything. So they're like, yeah, you guys pretty much work with portals. So now we go back to us again. And I go, okay, let's get away from the fire for a second. Let's get back to my hand. So I shrink down into my hand. Nothing's touching. And those things are little. Yeah, right? So I'm like, okay. So then that's body pixelation inside of the hologram, which is why when I saw through my hand, I said, I have one question. And they were like, go ahead, ask any. I said, I'm seeing through my hand. And they were like, oh, yeah, you can see that. And I'm like, yeah, does that mean I can change the hologram? I can alter my perception of what I am, perhaps, and then it changes me physically inside the hologram. And they were like, yes. So I'm like, that's what the shape shifting is. They're hiding hologram overlay over hologram overlay. Yes. So that little dot that's spinning, the atom, that little smallest, tiniest one inside the cell, inside the thing that in there all the way down, that's just pixelation. It's just spinning portal to where? Your consciousness is filling that void right there. That's where you're holding that together with your consciousness. However, and this is where it's kind of cool, man. I went to go, me and Aaron, once again, Space Jesus, we're talking about putting stuff into the vortex, because that's been our new thing again. Abraham talks about it all the time. But I seen when he was here with Angela Miller, and we all smoked DMT together, and I was like, I closed my eyes to see what I saw in front of everyone, because eyes open, it's like golden stuff and all kinds of weird, cool shit. But my eyes closed. I was like, wait, I'm focusing, and I saw Aaron moving, right? And he was shape shifting every time he spoke. And there was a ball, it looked like a disco ball, but it wasn't shiny. It was just made of light, like source energy ball. He would talk and he would turn into whatever he needed to project the sound waves at. He was talking to Paula, and I freaked out because I was like, whoa, it's just like his head turned into a speakerphone, launched sound waves at her. She was hit by it, and it went like that to her. And as the sound waves were finishing, it looked like a video game at one point. He hands the ball off to her. And she takes the ball, and then she starts talking. It does it right back to him. And then as he goes to talk, the ball's handed back to him. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, what are you saying? That we're source puppets? And he's like, they're like, no, you're not source puppets. You're all source. You guys are all source. So it's like source having a conversation with each other, but at the same time, you are the individuals. You get to keep the individuality. You don't have to worry about. You could always come back to source, but you could always leave as Frank or whoever the higher being is. Like, you're allowed to do that, because that's the great gift. That's why you're here. You're me there. And I want you to do whatever it is you want to do. But, right now we're in the middle of our purpose.
Right.
So I appreciate, working in this timely fashion. Anyway, so I looked down because I freaked out a little bit. I was like, oh, this is crazy. And I put my head down and I saw your vortex, yours. And it was, it was so big. I thought, I was scared for a second. I was like, oh, I'm going to fall in this fucking thing. So a vortex is basically like a portal. It is a portal. It's a circular area of a certain size, right? And then it's right on the floor in front of you. And it spins as if you put like chocolate and vanilla, right? And then it swirls perfectly. Okay, except it wasn't chocolate and vanilla. Yours was white and green. It was
energy, yeah.
It was more like heart color green, because I know mine's like this now. Mine was orange, and then it was green. I guess it is what it is when it needs to be, but yours was so fucking huge. And then you were putting, as you were doing this with Aaron, you were talking and passing the ball. When I noticed that, I said, oh, that's the vortex.
Yes.
Right? And then you were with your other hand slipping stuff in the vortex. And I was like, oh, you sly little motherfucker. Like, she really does just keep stuffing the vortex, and it went whoomp, whoomp, and got bigger, but hers
Yeah.
was gigantic.
Mhm.
Aaron's was kind of set for him and his size. It was the same thing as mine. Mine wasn't that big. It
Nope.
was like personal size. Mine.
I've been working
Yours
on
was
that.
like the floor
I was working
between
on that.
me and Aaron, and Angela wasn't saying anything.
I've been putting
and
shit in there
hers
for
was
years.
spinning.
Yep.
And I already knew what was coming out of hers because she was on the pilgrimage kind of thing with Aaron. So I was like, yo, there's a lot of important shit going on in this fucking room right now. And I'm like, where's mine? And I looked down, and it was right under me, and it was orange swirly, and it was the same colors as when I was with Toth on the ship, the orange. And I was like, oh, that's that orange color, whatever.
Right.
And then I got, mine's way too small.
Yeah, you gotta start.
But isn't that greedy?
No.
Isn't that greedy if I put that stuff in there?
How much lawn furniture is in the vortex waiting for us for the future?
I think that's why I don't have as much crazy shit in mine, because yours affects me.
Yes, this is true. But you could put stuff in there.
All right, so Zach, I jumped into my vortex. Okay.
You put your foot in it, right?
No, the other night I jumped in mine.
You did?
Yeah, and I also I told you this. So check this out. I built something and said I want this, and these angels were so much has been happening, and I'm going to jump around. I have a lot to tell you guys and girls. This comes from straight listening to Paula, by the way. Me doing what I just did. Listen, I said I need a workbench for when we bounce, so I can just do bench presses on it with like flies. But I don't want the bench bars. I want a workbench, but I want it to be strong, and I want it to be purposeful, and it could be used to step up. Like Paula could step on that and then step onto something else, so it'll be safe. And then I could take it and I could fucking bar a door if zombies are attacking. It's dope. I could put my bag on it. We could do whatever the fuck we need to with this thing. So then the angels gathered around me and were like, yeah. So I'm like, vortex bitches. So I'm standing on the porch thinking, yeah. And now this was all going to make sense with the portals and shit. So I went, put my hand back. Let me do it this way. Put my hand back, and it was like a work bench you'd put up against the wall with the bench and shit like that, so you could work on it. And I went, yeah, and slammed it into the vortex and was like, yeah, wait, I don't fucking want that. That's not it. And I went in and got it, pulled it out, and said, no, not this. And then gave it back to them and went.
But you don't even have to do that. You just upgrade it.
This is fun for me, but yeah, no, I did
upgrade it. That's it.
So I went, it's got to be like, and I'm explaining it to a football huddle of fucking angels.
Because it doesn't matter how much it costs.
They're like Santa's elves at this point. And they're going like, all right. And I go, no, with the things and the thing like this at the wood.
Exactly.
And then out of the fucking little portal in my hand that Aaron told me to talk to, that little thing, it went boom. And I went, that's it right there. I could fucking paint it. I could put my Fearless sticker on it. Yeah, motherfucker. And I slammed that thing down. And then I was like, wait a second. That just came out of, and they're like, where it's already been created.
Right.
And I went, wait, what? And they're like, you just go to where it's already made. And you pull it out of the portal. I go, wait a second. You're fucking telling me that we're basically, check this out, Santa's bag.
That's the vortex. It's that.
Say that into the microphone.
That's the vortex. It's that simple. It gets tiny, right? It's anything you want.
Anyone who has not seen the Christmas movie with
Alyssa, Brittany, your lawn furniture is in the vortex.
What's his name? The Christmas movie we love that just came out.
The Kurt Russell one.
Go watch the Kurt Russell on Netflix Christmas movie, right? It's
the
great.
Christmas Chronicles, I think it is.
Listen, the bag is the portal in that movie. Remember what happens? I'm like, wait a second.
It's the portal.
You just go in the bag and you keep pulling shit out. Like we always knew that, but they never
like the abundance closet. We have
this was great.
We have this closet.
That's perfect.
It's a linen closet, and Frank and I always keep it well stocked. And
there's always someone puking.
We call it we call it the abundance closet, and that closet has never failed us. We just reach in the back of the closet magically for things, and they appear. And it's we've talked about it from the beginning. It's like the best closet ever. I wish we could take the closet with us when we go.
But here's the thing.
We'll create it again where we go.
We're gonna have it there. The pantry now will turn into the pantry.
The abundance closet will be
pantry,
yeah,
the abundance this, the
exactly.
abundance that, right? There's
exactly. I love grandma loves you.
So up front, you have to build. I don't understand. Dawn, what's wrong? No, I don't want you to leave. I don't understand what's going on. But no, don't leave. I thought we were all enjoying the show. I shouted you out right at the beginning of the show. Sending you massive amounts of love right now.
Yes.
Dawn, you're one of my favorite people.
I'm sending you love too.
Yeah, I haven't hated on anyone. I don't even hate on TFR. I love them, right? I love all you guys.
Right.
All right, so wait, where were we?
We're talking about the abundance closet.
Yeah, the abundance closet. Okay, so we had to build the abundance closet.
We did.
Right? Well, hold on, because I'm going to show a cool secret. Because in the physical density, right? Because it's really dense here, you have to physically make that happen.
We did.
Just like you need your water and your food and your this and your that for times like this. You build your abundance closet because, and it's like you put it away and you forget about it, but you keep kind of stacking it in there. But it's the stuff
because you need. Yes, not the stuff you want. And I started building that closet because if you remember in the beginning, I was going to Costco by myself.
Yes.
So things would just magically appear to Frank.
When you taught me.
Yeah, how to shop.
Well, once again, it's not even joking. A lot of what I am now is because of you.
Oh, thank you.
I had basics because of my mom. I'm not going to lie. I was like a little bit of a meathead, right? But I was still out there. And I was having a rough time, and I'm a pretty intelligent guy. I can imagine what's out there. And being with you in 5 years, not only did we grow, but we're like both together.
We grew together.
We talked about this earlier, right? About like we're upgrading as we're away.
Yeah.
Personal upgrade.
Yeah, personal upgrades.
And then we get back and we're like, da-da.
This is the most time, this show is the most time Frank and I have spent alone. He was here the other night. He took a shower, he grabbed some things, and then he left. And
so weird. The cats were like in a new routine, bugging out without me throwing up all the time. I come in here, now everything's tonight it was great. And the other night, like as I started showing up again, they started getting better.
Well, now we're gonna have to start pulling back because your mom's feeling better. I just want to give her till maybe Monday, and then we'll start pulling back, slowly because we have to.
All routines have been changed. However,
now they have to go back.
Now you got to take all the good stuff and jam
and implement
it together with good stuff. Create momentum.
I have to work out a routine, like a cooking schedule, so I can cook a couple of times a week and bring food over. I have to figure all that out.
All right, so check it out. This was the big moment and everything that we've been working towards. Right? Okay, so I keep getting there's a few things I gotta remember, but I keep getting flashbacks of a few things, like hardcore, like it could happen, and it's like a screen with me on it, going, what the fuck?
Right, but you have to understand.
And then I'm like, whoa, who's that guy? They're like, dude, that was you like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, dummy.
You have to understand.
That's what would have happened now.
Frank and I,
my life.
We just had an anniversary, and our joke is we don't even know what day it really was. We always celebrate the day before Easter, and we know it's 5 years. And we could look up the day. It doesn't matter. The joke is it's the day before Easter. And that's for my grandma. May she.
I guarantee it's in the 20s somewhere.
Rest in peace.
It's like the 24th or 23rd.
I don't even know. We could look it up. Anyway. It was hard in the beginning for the two of us. We were fighting it. It was hard. He was with a woman who knew how to do things, how to function in a life. I was a homeowner, I still am a very responsible person, and I want to be clear with him that I'm not here do stuff for you, like if we're going to build this life, we're going to build it together, we're going to do things together. There are certain things I can no longer do. I could no longer work, and Frank was going to have to take some of the responsibility. And knowing that he had never been in this type of relationship before, it's my job. If we are no longer apart, I saw just from speaking to him, situations he got himself into in the past where he was taken advantage of. So my job was to educate him and to, oh, it's 11:11.
Shout outs to 11:11 right
11:11.
now. Everybody just take a moment.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
where you're going to
Yeah.
leave off and ground into the grid right where you're at, right?
Mhm.
Take a nice deep breath and say, I'm grounding to Earth right now, 5D Earth, right? But the new energies, the new Earth, whatever you want to call it, I'm grounding into that, right? Right. I'm the rainbow bridge to the other side, to the whole side, to every side, inside and outside, right? Take a deep breath, and blow out all the negativity, all the stuff that's been bothering you, anything that doesn't work for you. Get rid of it right now, right? We're all doing it together. Blow it all out. And every time the breath comes in, you're like, man, I'm starting to feel fresh and new. It's like workers going inside, like a big, strong bodybuilder dropping himself in, taking all the bullshit and just pushing it out. Ooh. My hand got really hot for a second. Interesting. Okay, acknowledgement. I love when that happens. All right, there we go. We just did a little meditation together right in the middle of it. Sorry.
Oh. So
now we're at different people.
No,
now.
so now
No.
So my point was, it's my job now to make sure that this man, because when we met, Frank was not receiving any pay from the USDA. He was waiting. We're still waiting for.
I met Paula at
his compensation to come through.
Oh, and I hit the
He
bottom,
didn't fill out.
I was only there for like 2 months.
He didn't fill out his Social Security paperwork yet. I mean, so now.
Yeah, when you guys first met me,
it was
I had
awful.
a fear of paperwork.
It was awful.
Right?
And
that's weird.
I said, okay, if I'm taking on this responsibility and I'm going to be in this relationship now, it's my responsibility to make sure if this man is no longer with me, that he will not be taken advantage of in the future. And slowly and painfully, we got through things, and then I realized that I was making things very easy for him in the beginning. And, I needed to start showing and sharing some of the responsibility. So he started coming to Costco with me in the supermarket. And, I started, like he'd say, oh, why do we need this? And why do we need that? And I would break down the price of things for him. And, then we'd go to Home Depot together and I'd break down the prices of things for him again, and the cat food, and break down the prices of him. So he understood where, when we were splitting the bills at the end of the month, where the money was going, how much was going where, why bills were going up or down.
And all right, so I just want to caveat everything right now because it goes with us from, from like this to Space Jesus and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most relevant stuff.
It is.
This is the hard work that we talk about.
It is.
Because it's hard work for me, hard work for her.
Yeah.
And working together.
Having two people on the same page when it comes to money is a very difficult thing, and that's a lot of times where relationships fail. And, the two of us were career people and we made pretty decent salaries on our own. Now, had we been making those salaries together, we'd be living life lovely. And, we are living life lovely, and we're both receiving benefits. So the money doesn't mean anything. The fact that we're on the same page financially means something. The fact that we're on the same page about where the money goes and how it's spent and, what gets spent first, You know, that's a big deal with any couple, you know, any relationship where, you know, things need to be
Yeah,
shared.
you're not casting out demons and having trust in your partner
Unless
and
you can pay
opening
your rent on
portals
time
unless
and
your rent is
together.
paid
Yeah.
and you're both on the same page. This is
Right.
what we're getting at. And I know to the creators, it's pretty basic, this information.
You know,
You're
but
like,
people don't realize, you
there's
know.
always new people. Everyone needs to understand this if you want to move together. Right? I was talking to some kid outside today. He's like, you know, people should know to wash their hands. He goes, I was in the bathroom today, and these guys I work with,
Yeah.
neither one of them, they both went
I don't
1 and
understand
2
that.
and then didn't wash their hands and walked out, didn't have gloves on, and he came out screaming, going, how could you do that? And they're going, oh, I love you so much. And they're like, yo, nobody shakes their hands. They're disgusting. He's like, yeah, but they touch the wall, they touch this, they touch that. And this is just basic stuff. You should know.
Right.
You should know to wash your hands and wash your butt and wash your armpits. Buddy, why you being so it doesn't matter. Right? You have to. Okay? Try to have good breath. Brush your teeth. Do the right thing. Right? Because that's the cleanliness and godliness. But when you go godliness, yes. All right. Like
respect
before
yourself.
I do certain things, I like to
respect yourself.
Remember the other night I was like, let me get off the phone. I need to shower before I talk. For 2-3 hours.
Right.
Because I can't do it without it.
No.
Like it's disgusting.
It's like showing up to work not showered. It's, you know,
sometimes I'll go into an area and I'll have just showered, right? Like we'll go shopping and I'll be covered head to toe like this and been cold out and stuff. And then I get home and an hour later, because it took 2 hours to do some stuff, maybe I feel like I got to shower again. And then you'll realize that you've been around, like you try to think who spoke to me, who touched me. Then you realize, wait a second, I was online. The line was triple packed with people.
Yeah, I was around people with low energy.
Yeah. Like, so they were all giving the lady, every time people give people shit at the Costco or something, and we're online, we're always like, oh, thank you. Oh, you can go.
Yeah,
or,
please and thank you.
Like, we're always really polite. So when we get to the people that have just been shit on 100 times, they just grab us and put us right in the front. Right? They do that to us. I remember being on the line and the line was splitting and the lady was screaming and you don't even know where you're supposed to be. Now, it's obvious. The place is jam-packed. No one can tell that 200 feet in over here, everything changes and merges into the 20-foot area. Like, so they were like, hey, lady, go fuck, da, da, da. And then they got to me and I'm like, oh, she's going to rip me a new one. And I was like, hi, wherever you need me, I'm ready to go. And she goes, you come right here. And she just took my stuff and put it
and
right
she
there.
Saved us about 20 minutes online.
I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I thought someone was going to throw a punch, but no, she separated us from everyone else. And put us right on the line we were supposed to be on.
Yep. Remember, I was running down the aisles.
You were like up right back, and then you came back, and I was up on the line. I was freaking out a little bit because it's basically me just holding on to this big shopping cart, and there's all ladies around me, and there were some ladies. And I spoke about, like, my mother does this sometimes, like she just kind of puts the cart out in front of her, just stops
in the middle of the aisle.
She hates it when people do it to her, but she does it all day, all night, and then she'll just stand and look and go, what? And then just start looking at stuff and then block the whole area. She'll stop the whole line for everything and then go, oh,
I told you.
Oh, my bad. Day. And I'm like, oh, awareness level.
I told you that day we were in ShopRite in New Rochelle. I followed her for 4 aisles. She didn't know I was behind her. She was talking to the 2 kids about the bread that's not sliced. And they were telling her it's after Thanksgiving. We probably don't have it. And she goes, oh, there you are. I said, I've been following you for 4 aisles. She goes, oh, I didn't know where you were. I was like, I want to hit you with my cart right now, over and over and over again.
I'm right here.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so funny. Oh, I think Aaron's out by the fire pit, right? And he just sent me a message. We love you too, Space Jesus, Aaron, baby.
That's beautiful. Yeah, no fire pit here.
See, I'm never around that. And the one time we were around,
we have the stove. We could toast more.
You know what's funny? And I told Aaron this story. I told everybody this story when we were at the the eclipse.
Oh, in South Carolina.
In South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
By the way, under the eclipse, we were completely protected in the circles. We came and sat around something like that.
Exactly
And
like
then
that.
the kid yelled at me across. And
Right.
then I was like, no, I don't think so.
You deflected
and
it.
Paula was sitting with the two of them on the other side.
Yeah, and I got hit
And
with
there
the
was,
energy.
we were away from the fire like 10 feet, right?
Yeah.
And the fire whipped at me.
Yeah.
And I was like,
because when he,
and it,
yeah,
yo, I'm telling you right now, it whipped across and it was like it blew up in Paula's lap.
the
Pow.
energy went from that
She
guy
fainted
to you
and collapsed
in the chair. Yeah.
And everyone went, what?
Yeah, I felt it. Yeah.
I saw shadow beings pop up behind the
It was
other guy
horrible.
and
It was
his brother.
horrible.
And I was like, and the girl, Shaman Gina came running out
Mhm.
and she came running across and
She
grabbed
was on the
you
side with you. Yeah, she grabbed me. She was,
and was
look,
like,
you need
"How
her.
dare
You need
you?"
her in
I
a.
I've never seen nothing
Yeah,
like that
she
before.
was fast on her feet. You want her like if
Yeah,
she's
that's
got
a
your
girl
back. Yeah,
that- so she
yeah,
was like, wow,
totally got your back.
magic, but at the same time, magic right back at you.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know how to do that. Didn't know.
No, you just deflect. I don't even think he knew. I think that
By
was
the way, the fire
entity.
cleanses. You
that-
could yell into the fire.
But that was the entity.
Just respect it.
Oh wow, I got.
If you
cat
respect
hair,
it
man.
and tell it, I don't want you to eat my
I'm just.
my issue.
Can I just take a moment? So where your cat was sitting, buddy, there's dirt
I don't care. I love him.
and crusty.
That's what I've been dusting off over here.
Yeah.
He
okay.
sat here.
All right. That's what I think I have in my eye. Okay.
Oh, wait, maybe that's what I have right
yeah,
here.
because he rubbed up against your face. He rubbed up against my face too. Okay. Only Frank's cat comes home dirty.
I've never seen a cat love dirt so much.
He came home one night and he must have walked through a gigantic spider web and took everything that was dead in the spider web with him into the house. And usually he gets a wipe down if we catch him at the window. But if I don't leave the window open, I will have to get up 93 times during the show to let someone in or out.
Yeah,
So-
Buddy the Wolf Dragon.
He came with this gigantic spider web with all the dead stuff in it. And I was like, could you please wipe your cat down?
And that's when he
he's-
wants to like rub up against you and kiss your face.
Yeah, because he wants to wipe that shit off. I would want to wipe it off too. So like you got to run after him with a clean towel to just frisk him and wipe him down.
So as we go through these
now I'm itchy.
these
Ugh.
crazy little upgrades, right?
Oh, sorry.
On the other end, if you can just breathe your way through, because it almost seems
Oh,
like
that's what I do.
life-
I drag and breath it through. Oh
it's
yeah.
like your problems repeat, because like what problems, let me ask you guys this really, and I'm not gonna because I know everyone's got problems, but what's really the problem?
All
right, we're all home.
Okay.
Hold on.
Ask me. Go
I
ahead.
will wait. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
try to word it
Go ahead.
correctly.
Go
Like
ahead, ask me. I'll tell you.
hold on, what's
I'm holding.
there's nothing going on. What's the problem?
What's the problem?
Show me. All right,
Hmm.
I get the big ones. I'm not working, my business is closed. No, with you.
With you. What's
Just
the problem?
You.
With you. Look in the mirror.
With you.
Can you look in the mirror? Can you look at yourself in the mirror while you're brushing your teeth? Can you look the whole time you're brushing your teeth? If you can't, start working on it.
Because this is that moment. This is the
Okay.
time we're having where
We
you
don't
can,
go from anything directly to love. We have to go up in stages. So you go from hate to dislike. You go from like to like, meh.
you had a better one. You ready? You never ever go down as far as you were,
No,
right?
No,
Because
you
you
don't.
already conquered.
you already did it.
Right when I first
already
met you,
did
you were
it.
like, "Yo, you're never
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be
that's
the guy
that
you
was
were."
the point before.
Like you go up,
When
and
I
then
met
you come
Frank,
down,
he
but then the next time you go
literally
down, you're like over
he
here.
literally had nothing. And we're not joking.
That's
I
if you
mean,
just put a little effort in. So just a little bit of love to yourself. That's
Right.
what happens. One person
yeah,
has faith
one
in
person
you.
has faith in you.
Or like, let's say, if you don't have that person, but you have an animal,
Anything.
listen,
Anything
they're
that's
watching
counting
you
on
transform.
you. Yeah.
They're
Uh-huh.
counting on you.
Yeah.
Like I was explaining that my mother was making fun of me tonight. She's like, with the cats and you think we're gonna get now Brian. So I go, maybe Brian wants to come here. And she goes, no, that's all right. So I go, it's fine. But 12, that takes a lot of work. So she was like, well, maybe not so much. And I'm
Yeah,
like, no, we can't dial back the time to 2 years ago, a year ago,
a year ago.
yesterday.
Yeah. No, you can't go back.
It's a wrap. Guess what?
This is it.
With
And you know
Kadu,
what?
That's my baby.
We
So
got
as far-
through it.
That's
Yeah.
it. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. All right.
It's done. We're here now, and we're moving forward together.
All right.
Because if that was even a thought in my head, how could I come on here and even fucking talk to you guys?
Yeah, really. You know, like you got to take it all. That's how I knew I wasn't me earlier in the week, because I was like, I could take. I don't want to name them individually because then it's documented that we have that many. But I was going to take a couple of them and pack a bag and just run away
Here's the
somewhere.
mission. Dawn, you want to know what the mission is? This is the true mission. The true mission is, if you don't do your work, you ain't going nowhere. That's the real mission. And if they're not telling you that, then if they're not saying that out loud and saying, join us to uplift,
Right.
That's why I'm not trying to become famous. It's not, I don't care if more people join the Fearless family. I
Right.
want you to be
Right.
there. But if you don't want to be there, or you don't know, I'm not going to go reaching out like as hard as I can to get you, because we're going to work together to rise. But if we don't do the work, you're not going. If you're out of frequency, you're not
Right,
going. No
you're
matter
not
what
going.
any button anyone else presses,
Right.
doesn't matter. None of that. I'm telling you, everyone has a purpose, and that matters. So that's true to that regard, right? And you join people on their purpose for that moment, and then you move on to the next thing. And what's the next thing? I don't know. Well, it's you. When you
Right.
could say to me, I don't know, it's you. That's when you go, oh, I got things to do with me. And it's like, every time I've said to myself, I'm upgraded, I'm good to go, I get slapped right across my face because I didn't put things into play. Yeah. You're the student. Shut up. Right? That's what I hear. And I'm like, oh, okay. Hold on. Help me teach, learn, teach, learn. It
Right.
keeps me humble and stuff. Right. But there's always something. Okay. So one of the things that happened to me during this whole experience,
Mm-hmm.
I'll stay on topic so we could just jump.
Okay.
Because this happened last week. Sergio, is that buddy? Sergio, my partner, sent me these two. They're two giant blue balls that are connected. They're for you to lay on for your back, right? And it's like a back cracker thing.
Yeah, didn't he send those a while
No, I
ago?
took them with me, and
Oh,
I
to
was
the house.
using them
Yeah,
because they
yeah,
were
yeah.
small.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me try it. It hurts using those because it
You're
hurts in the
forcing your
spot.
spine in the way. Yeah.
But they're amazing. Okay,
Right.
so I went through this whole experience where I was like, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was tight. And I seen my higher self, and he's like, I don't want you to do anything tonight. You know what? Why don't you go do this? Go in the living room, because everyone was already asleep, and go stretch. I went in the living room. I
Mhm.
did my 100 squats, or I
Right.
finished because I had done some with you earlier.
Oh, in
then-
the backyard. Yeah.
So, right. So I did the rest of the squats, and then I'm like, you know what? It'd be good if I touch my toes. And then it started a process and a routine.
Right.
Then the blue balls came out. Anyway, so I was having like a spiritual moment from holding. We do this from when we were doing the lower back.
Oh, when we
Yoga.
were doing the stretching.
I was
Yeah,
having
yeah,
DMT
yeah.
breakthrough moments.
Yeah, because all that
And I
fluid
started
is being
crying,
released. Yes,
and
yes,
it was
yes.
like painful as
but it
much
felt
as
great.
it hurt.
Yeah, it felt good.
Yeah, it was a good painful. It's
and
like,
I gotta get back.
But then as that's releasing, it's like you might have been holding like for me, I'll use me as the example,
Memory,
anger
yeah.
for my dad.
Right.
So
Memory. Yeah.
as that pain releases, anger for your dad flies out of you, and you're crying, and you're like, you don't understand why that just happened. But it's releasing all this stuff. So I went and did my lower back. I got to be careful with things with my back, right? So I get it right where it starts, right up the butt crack piece. And then I'm like, crick. And then they're like, hold it. And I go, oh. I could see my higher self looking at me, smiling, like, you ready? And I'm like, oh, snap, this is going to happen. And he puts his hand over me. And then the first thing happens. It was like,
wow.
The girl that, for those that don't know, my first sexual encounter was not good. It was not pleasant, right? I was thrown to the floor and all kinds of weird stuff happened. And I tried to run away and all kinds of, so it affected me my whole life. So I saw me get jacked, thrown on the floor, the girl do this, then me get up and run away. And then it went up me and out of my mouth. And I went, oh, I thought I handled this 1,000
Right,
times.
but you're
Right?
purging it because you don't. Once again, you don't need it anymore.
Wait, so because I
it
want you
shouldn't
guys
even be a
and girls
story.
to think about this.
When you do not tell that story anymore, it will be completely gone.
Well, it's part of the story right now.
No. But I'm saying it's gone. It's now physically pushed out of you.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, that's what
Yes.
happened 100%. So wait, this was at the base, so it's not. It's not
See,
the
like your
coccyx.
sacral
It's
chakra.
above it.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
the say. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
33 clicks, right? I didn't do 33. I did half of that,
Right.
but the whole thing, right?
Right.
So I like crick held crick next one,
Mhm.
and then it went into the next thing that I was holding. I'm like, what the hell is this? My dad, that's why I use that example, was
Yeah,
in there.
popped
Okay,
out,
so
yeah.
my father wrote me. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I didn't answer him. I didn't respond on Facebook. He had a different Facebook profile,
Right.
and he wrote me a letter,
Right.
kind of apologetic, but not really. Anyway, I was like, wow, it takes the end of the world for this motherfucker to write me, and he did.
At the
But
end of the,
at
yeah,
the end of the world, and I don't want the apology. I'm like, it's all good. I don't give a fuck.
right.
But there was something there because I had yelled at my brother
Did it come
when
out
my
of your?
brother said
Yeah,
he
but
contacted me, and I sent him and I love you or
but
whatever.
did that
So
when you were doing it? Did it come out of your mouth as well?
yes,
Right.
it happened like this for
Right.
the cracking of,
Right.
as the ball turned up my spine,
Right.
and I'm like, what's happening to me?
Memory is housed there. Pain memory
Listen
is
to what she
housed there.
says.
Pain
So important.
memory.
You're
Let it
literally
go.
in your stiffness holding.
Let it go. I have to learn
memories,
how to.
and you
Now
think
I'm
you're
on.
just
Now
stiff.
I'm on no anti-inflammatory. I have to learn how to let it go, and it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. But we have to push through because you never will be where you were. The vibrations will not allow it. It will not fit through. All of that anger and resentment and doubt and guilt and bullshit will not fit through.
So you're
Let it
literally
go.
physically holding memory in your DNA that
Pain.
when you're like, dude,
Pain.
I twisted my ankle. It all right, and then you're sore, and then the other ankle gets tight, and you're like, I gotta. When you're doing that stuff, and I'm just using metaphors.
I have
and
to do it
examples,
myself.
My knees crack and
I have to do it
when I do this,
myself.
and you're
It's
like,
not
it's
easy.
old man exercises. It's like you're swimming and you're cracking everything. Stuff starts flying out of you.
Mhm.
Like it's like a shitty attitude instantly leaves you. Why is that? Well, you're like, well, one more up and you're getting the blood flowing. Okay,
Right.
what else is happening? You're going from a fucking shitty mood to a good mood.
Right.
Well, it's because the blood's flowing. And oh, wait. So if we keep everything flowing,
right,
and interacting the way it's supposed to,
right,
you mean it clears my physical mind,
right,
so I can think better, allowing me more? Yes, that's exactly what we're fucking saying. So I go every single way, all the way up to my neck.
Oh, that was why Buddy assisted.
And
Maybe it was.
Not everyone was an ex-girlfriend or something. It wasn't like that at all. I had things where I was in jail and on this level and then this level. It was like my life from the point that it started. And I saw it too as an attack and everything. Like I saw that as a demonic attack to keep me at the perfect ripe age and just shut me down right there, like sexually and all kinds of weird shit. And my higher self, it was like I was looking at him. I was physical, but also out of that, looking at him, looking at me, watching it there, and watching that he was like smiling like he ate fucking pancakes or something. He was like,
let it go, because he's happy. You're not holding on to it.
I got nothing to fucking
It's a weight around his ankle. It's a weight on that tether. It's like taking that beautiful invisible tether that nobody sees.
There was a kid I did something
to your higher self. Stop talking for 1 minute. It's like taking that beautiful tether that is tied from you to your higher self And all of that shit and baggage and grief and strife and embarrassment and guilt and anger and resentment that you're carrying around, it's like putting a knot in that beautiful tether every single time, and every knot makes that tether tighter and harder and heavier. Why would you do that to yourself? Let it go. There is no reason you need to keep that. And I tell you, no reason you need to keep that. You
Well,
have
all right,
me
okay.
forever. There's
So
no reason
saying
you need to
that,
keep any of it.
Right? Is that was a better explanation than what I was gonna even get into. It was all right. That's exactly what you
I
need
didn't
to
mean
do.
to shout at you. I meant
No, it's okay because
because
it
you
all
needed to
came
hear
out
it too.
inside of that. I get it. Don't worry about it. So, when you hear Paula say that, right? It's like, oh, well, it's easy to say that shit. You don't know what my problems are. And it's like, yep.
I don't need
Okay.
to know. You
No,
have
no,
to
no, no.
start somewhere. And I don't give a shit what
Yes.
anybody says. You need to start somewhere.
So when I
That's
say
like
that,
waiting
and
to
it
start a
triggers
diet.
you
It's
to
like,
go,
you know, it's funny. It's like what you said on the
I
your
only
interview.
wish I can do that.
Waiting to start a diet on Monday. It's like, oh, I've decided I'm going to lose 10 pounds and on Monday morning I'm going to start. Well, today's Wednesday. So
Hi,
what are you going to
Gina.
go? You're going to go buck wild until Monday and
We
then
love you
start?
so much, sending you positive
Thank
vibes.
you so much, Gina. That's very sweet.
It was funny. As soon as you brought up diet, Gina popped up.
Because she has the right idea.
Yeah. Well.
She totally has the right idea. It cleans out
We all
every
need to
duct.
follow her.
If you're a fruitarian, I personally, I at this moment in my life, no, I cannot do it. But it does. It cleans every duct. It will clean every illness. Every illness in the world.
About closing those ports out.
You close those holes. You patch those gaps. And diet plays a very big part in that, because when you're vibrating at a higher frequency, your body will not allow preservatives. Like even us, like even my face cream. I had to change face cream. Ellen had to bring me a bag of samples.
I'll connect what we were just saying. So when you're like, it's easier said than done, and I go, you got to do something.
You have to start somewhere.
And then she tells you, the next statement, if we were changing topic, becomes, diet's an important part of this.
Right. And then Gina appears. Yeah.
Your questions are being instantly answered on that level.
Right.
As she's like, oh, because let's just say, I don't know where to fucking start. Well, we just told you fresh, clean water, right? And food.
Just drink more water. That's how I started to lose weight. I started adding
make
things.
It as simple as possible, or as creatively wonderful as possible,
right.
And everything in between. That's the beautiful thing. And there's no wrong way to do it. The thing is, you have to do something, and you have to do it.
You have to do something.
That will get you in position to let it go.
Let that thing go.
Clear your mind.
The thing that happened to you when you were whenever. Let it go.
Food. This is why you're not breaking realms.
Craving that food. Craving that food is a response to something else. Also, that means your body is craving things. You need to change things in your life. That's you have to start listening to yourself more and trusting yourself.
Yeah, this level, your awareness, you should be able to hear.
Right. Your body will say, "No, I can't have that."
Sees. Everybody's like, "Well, I want to see like you." No, you want to see, hear, touch, taste, smell, any one of those categories.
I think
like you at 100%.
I think it's a beautiful thing that you see the things that you do. I will never see the things that Frank sees,
because it still doesn't make me any smarter than you.
No, of course.
It keeps me right there with you.
No, of course not. But we still, and this is what people have to remember. We still have to get through our human lives. We still have to pay rent, pay car insurance, put our kids in school, do whatever it is you have to do, help your parents, whatever. This shit has to be done on a regular basis, and the fact that we get to live these lucid, beautiful lives is wonderful. But you have to start somewhere.
You don't get in.
If you're going to make an excuse, yeah, you can't get in by association. Oh, Joseph, you're so sweet.
Joseph,
you guys are so sweet. You really are. You're so sweet.
I love you, man. Now
I know you're not a kid anymore. I know. I can't help it.
That's the man, Joe. Right. So every time I get so excited when you pop up, regardless, we talked about him on
I
the
know
show.
we were talking about him the other day.
And then we hadn't seen you.
Yeah.
And then we just mentioned your name, and then boom, I saw you come up in the sign, and I was like,
we were talking
he's here.
about you.
And then Will showed up, and I was like, Will Smith's in the house. Holy shit, we were just talking about you guys.
We were talking about you guys to our friend Ellen,
Thank you
who
so much. We love you.
also was shamaned by Frank. And I was explaining to her when you guys were here and how we threw blankets and pillows down for you in the bedroom while you were each having your experience. And I said it was great. It was like a big sleepover. And she was like, "That's so cool of you. You didn't even know these guys." And I was like, "They didn't know us. You know, they
gotta have a little faith in one
gotta
another.
have a little bit of faith, you know.
Until like I'm a great dude,
Aww.
but when we gotta lead with the good foot.
You do,
but it never works. But listen, there's gotta
start.
be
You could
people
always
like
start,
us.
even if you.
This
even
is
if
why
you,
it's us.
even if you
These
fuck
little
it up,
communities we're
you
forming.
start.
Everything we're
You
talking.
start right where you are.
Yeah.
And then you have a couple of fuck ups, and then you start again.
Once again, the Chili Peppers, never been a better time than right now. This is what I said in the group the other night when I did the talk. I was like, hey, check it out. Let's not wait on if it's Tuesday night and I get you pumped to work out and you're like, yo, you're my workout. Yeah, we need to start working out. We got to start the next day. Right. Or at that moment, depending on what you're doing right there. Right. So when you want to kick a habit and you recognize it, that's when you do it. You don't fucking put it off till Monday.
Frank, you know how hard it was.
You are then part of the robotic AI system. When I hear you go normal, I'm going to answer the question from earlier. Normal. We go, do you really want to go back to normal?
No.
Normal fucking sucks. Stand up, sit down. Stand up, sit down. Go left, go right. Come in, come out. Wash your hands, wash your face. 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. Traffic 3 hours. Traffic 3 hours. Look, get the fuck out of here. We're going to do this differently now. It's going to be different, good or bad. And I don't think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be weird. And I think it's going to be really good. What do you think?
I'm with you. No matter what, I'm with you.
She doesn't have an issue across the board. I'm telling you right now. So should I work backwards from the things that have happened to me, or should I get right into the dirty stuff?
Just get right into it.
Okay. So I'm glad you're here.
I'm fading a little. So
fading a little?
Yeah. Just
Is the coffee still hot?
I don't know if there's much more. Do you want?
Well, I'm asking.
It's probably still
I wasn't
hot,
asking you to get it for
no,
me.
No. I don't mind that. It's probably still hot.
Can you get me some? And I'll tell the story real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So I had 2 experiences I want to share with you. So Paula,
He's such a camera hog.
It was a dirty sexual experience that didn't happen. However,
when was this?
So I had a little issue with Anunnaki characters.
Oh, yeah.
So I want you guys to know this. I'm sorry, we're just changing direction. We have a lot to talk about, and then I know we're already 2 hours in. I want to cover this stuff, and then just in case it's lights out, I went out in my backyard. I've been doing mantras with Robert Hawley. I've been practicing. We're doing an album together of mantras, right? So everything's got to be the 108 times for each track. So some tracks are 20 minutes, some are 40 minutes, and each one is a different thing. And we're just trying things out, but we're already at like 15 things, right? But so I got to get my ass in gear and do some of this stuff. So I'm learning it. So I'm inside and I'm doing the Saraswati. That one's done. The vocals are done, and I'm listening to it while I'm smoking a blunt in the backyard for like, it runs for 20 minutes, I think, or 40 minutes. I'm not even sure anymore. And it's on loop. So I had been listening to it like it was crack. And I started getting this build up, and I don't know what the hell's going on. I started freaking out. And thank you so much. Love you very, very much. Rolla. All right. So you guys, I'm getting the build up. I'm going, this is it right here. Right here. Wait, leave this up here. This is black seed oil. Is amazing. I'm like, what's this feeling? And I was telling Paula, this has happened. I've talked about this on the show recently, the last couple of shows. It feels like I've had hernias, not bad. Like it was going, and then I fixed myself. But the feeling of it pushing against the wall or the blowing into the area as if air blows into my lowest point. It's right above my stuff, but it's behind it and kind of in, and there's like that area, and it just went bloop. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is. Now, this time I know what it is. It's happened multiple times already. I'm like, oh, what's happening to me? And I always put my hand where I had hurt myself. So I cover it. And then I went back like that. And I was standing outside, and it was the most beautiful background. I had taken a picture of that night. The sky and the clouds it was starships instead of clouds, right? Like it was crazy low and beautiful. It was right when the full moon was going on. And it rippled up me, boom, and then stopped here and went, and this happened instantly. So then I thought I was going to throw up, and it went, whoa, and came out of me. Air. And then I felt like I deflated, like terribly deflated. Like, I don't know what just happened. Almost like I had sex and it finished in 30 seconds, right? I know that's a weird one, but I don't have any other comparisons to this. So I thought my Kundalini lit up and then blasted out of me, and I couldn't keep it inside me, right? And I'm like, well, that's never happened. But at the same time, I feel like if that would have hit my head here, my head would have popped off or something if it didn't shoot out my mouth. It was the craziest experience. So then I got really depressed, and I sat back on the step. I was sitting there with my blunt, and I look up, and I feel like I'm falling down. And now I'm here. It's just me smoking the blunt, not interested. Don't know what's going on, what's happening. And a dude walks out, kind of comes out. And I go, oh, hi, Reggie.
Who is that?
Come here, Kadu.
Is that Reggie?
Yeah, she's right here. Come here.
Hi, Mama.
Come on.
Sorry, she's crying. She okay?
She is
No,
now.
she wants Papa.
I love you, baby girl. All right, so man comes out, but a bigger woman comes out. Gorgeous. She's like in a robe.
Hi,
She's big enough. All right, her head.
Hi, the babies.
Big from side to side. And I was like, what am I looking at here? And the guy that takes off his clothes, and he's smaller than her, and he's wearing the Egyptian headdress.
Mm-hmm.
He starts having sex with this giant lady, and I'm like, whoa, she drops her thing. And so I go, yeah, I'm not interested in this. And then I look back over because I'm like, man, is that giant? Look at the size of this chick. She's got giant boobs. Then I was like, can I be real?
Go ahead.
No, because I don't want to be distasteful.
No, go ahead.
But this weird thing happened to me that when I spoke to Aaron about it, I told him when that witch lady touched my leg and was trying to hypnotize me, it was the same effect for a second.
Right.
Okay, so I said, let me take a look at this. And I was checking her up and down, and I realized she even had like a big bush, and I was laughing. And I go, but you wear it well, right? And then I go, wait, don't talk to her. So she started like paying attention to me and not to him. And then he just like stepped away, and she came over. I'm like, no. Don't. She put her head right next to me. So I was sitting like this, smoking the blunt, and she went and licked me from, it was like riding on a slipping slide. I was trying to explain this to Aaron. I was like this.
Oh, sorry,
Are
Reggie.
you trying to throw my cat?
No, I wasn't trying to do that at all.
That
No.
looked like a flying elbow to me.
No, my elbow's right here.
Yeah, you have two. One on the other
Oh,
arm.
shut up.
So I said, don't do that again. That was very uncomfortable. I felt like a child. This is disgusting. Being cleaned with a wet wipe after the diaper was cleaned, right? It was weird. So I said, don't do that again. So she was going, right? She had like reddish hair and shit. Her eyes were gigantic. They were green. Yeah, you're getting cleaned later. So then I'm like, yeah, not interested. She goes to do it again, and I catch her right on top of the head. I was telling Aaron, I spiked her in the head with a light sword, right? And I was like, I said no, right? So I go, I'm a rock star. I know these kind of chicks. They fucking think they could come in. I'll suck your dick. Then the next thing they're taking your underwear is fucking. Oh, we were hanging out with Frank Castle and I couldn't steal anything, but I took a pair of his underwear. Why would you take that? So, and that's metaphorically. I used to have people doing that to me. Anyway, so I'm like, get out of here. So then she was going like this, like trying to get her head out, and fucking snakes like Medusa's hair, but like 7 or 8 of them. I think there were 7 of them. It looked like the Hydra or the Ghidra. I don't from the movie. Are you all right?
Yeah, no, I'm listening to this.
So I'm like, oh, look at this shit. Snake people, snake lady. So then as I was doing this, I wondered how many times any and all of us have had this kind of thing happen. So I started chopping the heads off the snakes one at a time. They didn't grow back. I took the main head, like the main body piece.
It's funny
cut
that
it.
they didn't grow back.
I said to.
I know she just.
I took them all off and then took the attachment from the body. It just fell off. Everything just went boom, 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 boom. But then here was the weird shit. You showed up, and you were like the giant. All right, you looked like an angry version of what Aya looks like sometimes, right? Like, but the angry version. So you came over, you're like, are you fucking done? And I go, I didn't do anything, as you can tell. And then you went, let me show you something. So I took the sword out, like to give me my sword back. And then you, with your mouth, and you were bigger than her. I was like this big to you. You went, and the skull came out of the chick's face. It like fell off, and it was a fucking reptilian, like full reptilian hiding in the Anunnaki. And then you were like, don't you see it? And then you ate it. Like you sucked it in. I watched it go through you. You gave me this fucking lecture. And then I was like, but I didn't do anything. And then you were like, but the thing was, you got to hold it. You can't let that happen. You talk about this bullshit all the time.
Touch anything,
but I didn't know what happened. Right. It just occurred. So it comes out of the bottom of you, and it's the girl it's not the snake, it's the actual girl, but it's the snake. And then because you can't kill energy, it changes. And she went to say something, and you went, shut your mouth, or it happens again. And then they were trying to make reason, like, hey, this is how we roll. Like you came down here, and it's like, no. And you wouldn't let her stand, because as the snake, you should stay on your you lay on the belly. Fucking floor. Don't pretend you're her when you're this. So I'm going, wait a second. So I never had that happen. So I'm going, so my Kundalini actually blasted out of my face, and then this is what went on. So now Reggie, it goes like this, and the space clears, and now I'm standing in my backyard, and I'm going, all right, well, I'm kind of bored and tired. I don't think I can handle this tonight. So I'm like, my energy's not coming back. I just got yelled at. I got licked like I was a giant baby, like a giant lollipop. This is so uncomfortable for me. I'm not into that kind of shit. Not at all, right? So then I'm sitting back down on the porch with the blunt, and I look across the pool, and there's a dude standing there, just as tall as the fucking gate on the garage. He was as tall as that piece that sucks the gate up. He was blue and black. It was a bird man, avian, right? Don't think Corey Good. Don't think David Wilcock. Think what I'm telling you. It's all real. all of these characters are out there. Why would you have an Anubis being and not a bird being, or variations of every kind of these beings? This guy was staring at me and he goes, we're waiting for you to fucking notice me. I've been here the whole time. And he was right on the other side of the pool. So I stood up and then he just walked towards me and I was like, what's going on? I go, so you're real? And he goes, why would you not think you were real? Like you literally hugged and touched lips and rubbed the feathery body and talked about it. I go, yeah, but you know, they attach everything to Corey Good and all that other shit. And they're like, yeah, who cares what anyone else thinks? Your understanding doesn't require their understanding.
Right.
They're all real. We're all here. So I'm like, wait a second, you're a really high density being. So as he got closer to me, I sat back down because I couldn't stand up. It's just too much. I was in a shit mood. And I said, what happened? And he goes, dude, you blew out like a fuse. And that was like, you popped the balloon. That's what happens. And they wait for you right there. And I'm like, so you could see all that. And they're like, yep. We're looking right at it. I'm like, who's we? And they're like, yo, everyone's here, man. Everyone's watching. Everyone. There's no one's not watching.
It's like that movie with Meryl Streep and Mel Brooks when they're dead and they have to review their lives and they have to go into a theater and they get to review their lives. I forget what it's called. It's a comedy though. It's funny. And like she clearly has the better life, you know, and that's all I'm going to say about it. And it's like you try to keep a mental track of these things because you think it's going to help you later on.
Yeah, it's help you later on get in somewhere.
It's not gonna. It's just going to get weirder.
So one of the wonderful things I was told is that not to let this moment go to waste.
Right, to learn from it.
Yeah, like you popped. Right. Why'd you pop? What were you thinking of when you popped? I'm like, I didn't know what I was feeling.
But what was the pop?
Right, it just shot out of my mouth.
Right, because you don't need it anymore, whatever it was.
But then it dropped my frequency. He's like, you would be with me.
Right.
Capable of being on a ship if you would have held that womp, womp, womp. Because the Kundalini is not supposed to come out like that.
Right.
You can use it. Like, let's be childish about it. I could use it as a hand blast. I could use it as a Care Bear stare love. I could do all kinds of weird shit with it. But at the same time, if I just ooze it out everywhere and let it leak without any kind of protection, things come and feed on that shit. Right. So it drops you in frequency. Well, if you hold that in, you become the infinite, that number 8 sign or the infinite sign. That's what it literally looks like, going up your spine, coming down your face. That didn't sound right. But going back and forth like this, it's like the infinite charge. And then you can use it instead of having it come out of you and then you being used by others. Right? They come and they're influencing you because you're leaking it and they want to eat they want that
it,
stuff.
Yeah. You're oozing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the most delicious
that's
meal.
The best stuff. Yeah.
Especially if you're on track with that kind of shit, right? Like that happens once in a while with other people, but if Frank sat in the backyard practicing that shit and doesn't even realize that's what's going on. So then I'm like, well, what caused that? He's like, man, how many times did you do the mantra? And I'm like, oh, that had to be 1,000 times. When I thought about it, I was like, wait a second, because at 10,000, you say it once, it just works. And I'm just working on it. So you're aware of what it means and everything. It was the creativity thing. It was, what do you want most out of this? Like you focus in on that. But I was just started doing the mantra. I forgot about all that shit. I'm thinking Robert and I have to get this done and I want to be part of it. And then all of a sudden I've been doing it for an hour now and I'm going.
But I was doing it with you because I was sleeping when it was, I was like half.
That was the first time doing it. Remember, there was like 1,000 times that night. And it sounded weird from out here because I had headphones on. You couldn't even hear the music. And it's to catch it correctly.
Yeah, but when you would replay it, I would hear it.
No, I know. I'm like, wait till I turn on the everything. You'll hear what it sounds like. So from out here, she's just hearing me doing the mantra over and over and over. Anyway, that was working towards the goal. So I'm like, so you're telling me doing the Saraswati mantra in the position that I'm in now allowed me to hit a frequency note that if practiced can sit me right next to you where I need to be not next to you. I don't really care whether it's next to you or just within myself in the best spot. It's going to pop me up into that frequency. And he's like, yep, you want to hit the high. It's automatic. You're doing creativity. That's the highest frequency.
Right.
Or you hit a time where you were like zoning off into it. And that was bringing you into this frequency. And that's where we're all sitting over here. And these guys are sitting here. And I'm like, oh, snap. And I'm like, yo, you guys are like behind me chanting it as well. I hear in the background, and he's like, that's the angel. This one, everyone's cheering for you guys, not just Frank and Paula, like everyone.
No, everyone.
This is happening across the board. So I'm like, oh, that's what that is. You know, and some nights recently, right, where I looked at the weather map and it would say rain every single day, right? And then it would be a beautiful day outside. We would be sitting outside. Then the next moment is chemtrails, and I'm like, oh, here it goes. I'm
and then watch the sun it happen. Goes in, the
sun goes in, and then the next day, though, the chemtrails got pushed out, so it wasn't rain the next day. It was like a chess move. You did this, I did this. It's
supposed to be a nice day tomorrow,
so it never really stays nasty for more than a day or two. And if you watch the sky, it's like they put the chemtrail, and then these other clouds and wind comes through, and it like erases it, not necessarily pushing it over there. What are you doing?
Who is that?
I have no idea, but someone's over there ripping something up.
Do you want to take a look? Or you want me to do it?
What are you doing, Reggie? Reggie.
Oh, it's Reggie. Okay.
It doesn't make it any. Oh, I think she's playing with the balled up thing.
Her squiggly toy is stuck under the chair. She's trying to get it.
So, let's say the people that are in the frequency I kind of rock with should be open now to the newer experiences. And there's people that are way past where I'm at that should be up in their own area now with accessible, I want to say like out of the 96% that you're not aware of is starting to come into awareness. All right. Even if you're not using 100% of your brain and all that, all you got to do is put your foot in the right direction. Your brain will start growing the neural pathways.
I believe that because then you start recalling things. The recollection starts because Angela Miller, when she did that healing on me, she opened a couple of doors for me. And, you know, it was really powerful when she was like, no, you have to say the first thing that comes into your head. Don't think about it. And that's hard to do. On some level, it's very hard to do because even you don't believe what you're saying, you know, and then when you give yourself a second to think about it, then it makes sense.
What does Abraham always say? Any resistive thought about it is considered resistance. So anything that is resisting it doesn't allow access. Like it's like you're all of a sudden you're going uphill with weights on your back,
right? Just
from the thought of thinking, and you're like, oh, you already fucking fucked it up.
No, you're totally right about that. And you know how I am. Like I don't like what upsets me.
It's submission to the moment, right?
And it's redundancies, like two people doing the same thing and not understanding why they each need to do it. So she opened a couple of doors for me, and I'm working a lot of things out on a couple of different levels, and some of it's easier to push through than others are. And there's something that I had struggled with on a very personal level for a very long time, and I was understanding it one way. And now I understand things a different way. And that way makes a lot more sense. And it's just a validation for me that I am not crazy. Do you know when when you start to think you are crazy?
If the imagination is the engine, you should never think you're crazy. It's just the other people around you will make you think that for some strange reason, but we're coming away from that.
What she did was magic.
Do you know?
She uncovered
massively different.
She had, I mean, just the residuals, what Frank can see is amazing. How I feel
is the proof in the
is amazing. I mean, I'm still very uncomfortable, but I am a lot better than I was. And that's all due to her. But just the doors that she opened for me, the possibilities, the idea of the possibility made a very big difference to me because I was viewing things one way. Each thing that I have to work on, I was viewing one way. And now I am allowed access to see it a different way. And in seeing it a different way, it makes it much easier to understand. Even the pieces that I'm not supposed to understand yet, because there were some pieces that I don't know if they're meant to be worked out now. But I am working some stuff out. And within that, I have learned to, I'm going to say this and it sounds really silly, but I've learned to talk to Frank's higher self. And that's a really good thing because he proved to me that he heard me. And that was amazing for me. And it doesn't happen all the time, but it does get through. And that was amazing. You know,
that's what's happening now.
But this time is very humbling. It's like you said earlier in the show, it's very humbling not being together. And it really is. Like, I'm sad because he's going to have to go in a little while, you know, and it's like, you know, again,
however,
but you know, we'll see each other tomorrow, you know,
and it's a moment in time.
It is. It's a moment in time, and it's what needs to be done. So we decided that we're going to do this together, and that's how we'll finish it out. So it's what it is.
What you think we play in the game here, Holmes?
Yeah, you know.
Right? So the proof is there. Behind the words we use is the actions approved to go along with it, as surprising as it is, right? Because it's like, whoa, it's really happening. And like, you've already been in that, but how many people look at you?
Oh,
I've had to talk twice this week on the topic of people like Paula actually being real and not being fake, because no one's that nice, no one's that good. And I'm like, no, they are.
He fought with me in the beginning.
No, but people have said, nah, nobody's that good. You're fucking fake. And they talk to me about it because they hear me say something about you.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, I was like thinking to myself, that was when I thought maybe all you is a fake. And I'm the only real thing here. Everyone's
I can
fake.
Understand that.
And this whole thing is my
projection,
period. Because that's impossible. And am I getting what I want? Is it because when you get what you want, you start questioning it all of a sudden?
Right. Why is it so easy?
Why? But
why is it so
what
easy?
The fuck? You serious? But what's really getting in the way is your emotional feeling for the situation, towards the situation. You're supposed to feel the emotion and go, why am I feeling that? You're supposed to say it to yourself. You're not supposed to grab your partner by the neck and throw her on the floor because she didn't make you coffee. You're supposed to be fucking nice. You go make her coffee. Go make her a sandwich. Stop being a dick. Right? So these are the things that we got to do. You got to step up into your game. You got to allow the sacred feminine to rise. And at the same time, the sacred feminine's got to allow the masculine to become the sacred masculine again. Because some of you girls go crazy and start flipping out on people. And it's like, look, because one man did you wrong. Okay. Not all men did you wrong, no matter how bad that man wronged you and how many his friends or those in that ilk. That just means you were only surrounded by those things for that time. That doesn't mean we're all like that, just as much as me saying, well, because I went through a stage where I went, everyone's crazy. I'm going to be 40 years old and I'm going to have to dip into the pool. Everyone's got 2 kids. Everyone's got mortgages and bills, and there's no fresh clean start with nothing. And I was bitching and complaining about everything, and boop, Paula popped up, and I was like, wait, what? And we just worked through everything. It just clicked because I was, and it fought at first. It's hard, right? But my mother said to me some stuff like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind right now? I wrote that, boo, Paula. When I was on the other side and they I was asked, how do you feel when you're the worst, when you tell ayahuasca, Mother Aya, can I stay in my body for this experience? And she's like, well, of course. No, I'm just asking, so because I got to stay in the body for this lifetime or whatever, so I should be experiencing it from within. Oh yeah, no problem. And then you're in it, but they were going to take you out because the brain's getting pulled apart. And during those moments, you start losing your mind, and I forgot who I was. And I went, get me out of here right now. And she just looks at me and goes, we can't pull you out right in the middle of this. Just stay calm and breathe. So I started losing my shit. And
you
then
asked to be in your body, though. You asked for
I
it.
didn't know that though
That
was going to
was that-
happen.
what
So
that-
I was
that's
just
what that
playing.
meant. Yeah.
I have a new way of wording it now.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
take me out
help.
if you need to. And then if you don't need to, leave me in so I can just do it from there and learn it from there.
Right.
So anyway, she's the teacher, so whatever. And it got to the point where I went, I did not know who I was, right? Nothing. And I saw the whole brain come apart. And I saw my consciousness just floating.
But you
I
got
was there,
exactly what you asked for.
and I was full. Like it was as
Right.
if I loaded in, but I
Right.
wasn't aware yet that I could be fully aware of the whole thing. And then it started to come back together. And as it did, the human in me, I was watching from there, went, I have cats, Paula, my name's Frank. And it was weird. So they were like, so cats and Paula first, huh? Before you knew who you were?
Mm-hmm.
They questioned that. And I said, oh, she's my anchor. They were like, you got a lot more than her as an anchor. You got cats. Cats is pretty general, like cats, big cat, right? They're like, and I'm like, wow, man, I didn't know who I was.
Mm-mm.
And then everything got great after that.
Yep.
I mean, it got really
Yep.
good. And then they showed me what they did. And they were like, oh, you're partner, pretty strong going through that. We appreciate you going through it because you needed to see this, that, the other. And I'm like, yeah, ain't a nice way to do that. Well, we were going to take you out of your body and just show you from here.
Yeah, but
Like the
you
car
asked
wash.
for it, so we gave it to you.
They like put my body through the car wash.
Yep.
And then I could have watched from that long hallway with protected in the
Right, you could
glass.
have kept walking.
But instead
while
I
your car was
attempted
moving.
to be in the car
Be in the
wash.
car,
And then I
yeah.
felt like I was drowning and stuff.
Down there.
So many other things happen. But one more thing, because I have to discuss this because it happened the other night. And it happened to a few other people in different ways. People are reporting that night being up in a ship and seeing because I knew there was a bunch. I don't know who's who, but I was like, I know you. And I'm like, what are we doing up here? And they're like, oh, new set of rules. Was why I went live the other night. My teaching at a certain level just becomes a glorious story. And then people hear it and go, okay, that's a bit much. They're like, look,
Don't believe it. Just listen to
they're
the
like,
story.
you just tell that on the show.
Yeah.
Right. Just
Don't
go
believe
on the show and tell the story. Just continue the story. For the people you're working with on that level that are questioning that, don't work on that level with them. Work on this level with them.
But it won't work.
Like
the universe won't allow it to work. Like you were talking about.
Well, they were showing me a teaching style.
The laws of the universe. It's not going to happen. Like we have laws.
I can't
here.
dress the truth up.
No, you
I'm
can't.
I'm not allowed to. So I can only say what's going on.
It's not pretty though. The truth is always raw.
Okay,
the center of it is always raw.
Couple of things going on. Yes, that's going down as with the coronavirus as a cover, but there is a virus.
Right, but there is a virus.
There is a Cold War as well going on with China, as well as there's parts of China, America, Russia, whoever that are working together for the good. I want to talk about the good stuff, but
what is that word?
What this?
Yeah.
Commander.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. I had to write it down that night.
No, because I see something else, and I'll tell you what I see after you say that. If you talk about that.
Right. So there's 2 comets coming. We're all home. Everyone thinks 5G. I'm going to simplify this stuff. They think 5G has to do with the virus. It's not the virus. You're off center with it. It's the vaccination. They're trying to keep us in the house so they could launch the vaccination. That's why Trump's trying to just telling us now, get out. Just it's sort of May 1st, everything's open, or you got to do what you got to do. It's going to come to that because he's in the know. Certain characters are in the know, and if you're watching, you'll understand. If you're understanding yourself and you're at that level, you already just understand. You don't got to listen to nobody and nothing because you just get the information. However, it's way more than one thing happening. So they're playing 5D chess, or Trump's playing 5D. They're playing 3D. It's not working, but it is working, but it's not working. We're already past the point of no return. We're going in the good way. So have faith. It's going to be good. However, under the guise of all this, there's a lot of other things happening,
Right.
right? Just like we said,
Oh,
everything,
layers and layers and layers.
yeah,
of
everything
things
from the
happening.
Smurfs to the Fraggles to the this to
Right.
the that to the
Right.
Thundercats. Well, guess what?
Right.
If you watch any one of those episodes from anything,
Right. It's
of
all happening
everything,
now. It's all happening.
right?
It's very
Imagine
strategic,
you're
political,
looking at the
etheric.
screen,
Yeah,
and
it's all
every
happening.
one of those shows is going on right now with all those characters, and you're
Right.
like, bro, what the?
Right. In a ring, up and down.
Okay,
up and
so
down.
they
circular in a ring.
and yes, and it's
Yep.
many layered. So I'm going to say stuff like you can't blow up a movie theater with people in it if there's nobody in the movie theater. You
Right.
can't make people sick and they're not in the movie
Right.
theater.
And no one's looking up.
No
one has the ability
you
right now
can't
to
blow
look
up people over here if they're
Right.
not there.
Right.
Okay, I can't shoot you in a mass shooting at a church or a concert
If you're not there.
and blow the
Yeah.
place up if you're not
Yeah.
there.
And everyone's in. No one's
Everyone's
looking
in
up.
chill.
Everything
So,
in the sky that's
get
happening
to-
right now, no one's looking up.
Flip it into good. Yeah, that's the other thing. No one's looking up. So the other day I saw a video of UFOs, right? And I'm like, those aren't UFOs, those are satellites. Then I thought, wait a second, who the fuck is launching satellites when everything is shut down?
Right.
Wait, why are these guys on TV talking and nobody? They're all sitting next to each other or standing in the background
Right.
together. Nobody's
Right.
wearing anything and
Right.
covering up. No one's got gloves on, nothing. They're all standing right there. Blah, blah, blah,
Mhm,
blah, blah, blah,
mhm.
blah. And I'm like, oh, there's some fucking bullshit going on here,
Right.
right? Okay. Imagine if everything was a dry run for this moment,
Mhm.
right? Night of the Comet, 1983. The tail of the comet
Right.
brings red dust over the planet, creating zombies. This is fantastical, so don't think this is what's going to happen. But what would come in the tail of a comet? Wait, is it actually a comet? What comes along with the comet? Why is there something Jupiter sized 5 times that
Space
size?
junk. Yeah.
Right? So is it space junk or is it
Yeah.
a that's no moon, kid? Right? Like really
Mhm.
think about this stuff. I'm not trying to scare anyone.
Or is there a war in the sky being waged and they just don't want us to see it? Because I could say it. Because you know why? Because I know who I am now. And that's why that attack with Frank, when Paula realized what was going on, that shit stopped. And
Because
it's
she's
never
actually
happened
that
again because I'm
character.
that character.
They're
and they
like,
knew they
"She's
weren't supposed to be here.
sleeping.
That's why he
We
got
got
hit in
her
the
out
head.
of the room.
Right.
Bomb. Let's punch Frank in the face. She comes
Right.
running out of the room. Everyone's like,
Right.
dun 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 dun, right? Like, so it goes down. It's almost like a training facility on the in the version of the light being from my
Right.
side.
Right.
When I say I came out, it was like a badge of honor to win this shit, like over and over and over. They can't stop us.
Right.
It's almost like Paul has been with me as the power one. So if they do bring it to the point of you're dead, motherfucker, she steps out immediately at that point and goes, oh, you ain't killing him. So it allows me the Neo moment when Neo gets shot in the hallway thinking he already got away. He got away really fast and he got the phone, and then Smith was just standing there and gunned him down. And it's like, well, you have to die to realize what death is, and then you just stand the fuck up, and
Right.
you're
Do what
not
you gotta do.
you don't have to dodge bullets because they're never going to touch you again.
Right.
And he just stands up and everyone's like,
Right.
what the fuck is going on here?
Right.
I
Never gonna
can't
touch you
have
again.
that moment in the hero what do they call it? The archetype of the hero,
Or the hero's journey.
the hero's journey. I can't have that moment and it be in the situation that we're, I mean, this is a dire situation, one extreme or another at one point in one timeline or another, to not have a protector with me while being protected, while then that thing could happen at that level. So I could get bashed, because whatever happens to me this way on that darkness swings back to the light, means I can do this. So
Right.
no weapon used against me will prosper. That's really what you get into with that. So having you here allows that to occur. I'm noticing it because the masks are still on with everybody else and everything. They got to play the game to the very fucking end. Here's my chess move. Let's step in on these people in this whole area on the ley line. And it's like, whoa, are you fucking crazy? It's like, dude, they're just military guys with them. Jump these motherfuckers if you see them.
Mhm.
Grab them etherically. Try to grab. If you can see it, you can do something about it. Right? So, all right. Anyway.
Yep.
Because that was my whole thing. It's like, oh, well, everybody was like, well, there's ETs with them. I'm like, yeah, there's a handful of them. Who gives a fuck about them? There's those dummies that nobody likes. They had to come back and apologize. The humans didn't. And guess what I did? Frank sat down 3 nights in a row and said, you know what? I'm going to take a shower, light a candle, light some sage, and go visit those motherfuckers that were in those masks. And I got both the guys I wanted to get.
Right.
And scared the living piss out of them and said, this is what's going to happen from now on. To have weeks later, during the experience right here,
Apologies, yeah.
I said, oh shit, it's happening again.
Nope.
And I go, stand up and turn around, and Anubis comes in. An Anubis guy walks in, same size as the Anunnaki chick too, and goes, "Hey,"
Sorry.
and I go, "Oh, well, I'm not going to be
Yeah.
afraid of you." And then they go get in here, and all those ETs were being lined up,
To apologize.
and they were like, I go, there were so many. It was almost like they were taking them to everyone that they ever did it to. So I was just aware of my
rules of engagement, man. That's why we got so many fucking cats now.
They were like, "Speak to him," and
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, the two and the used to don't hide, come over here. That's the one that shot me, and that's the one that talked shit to me. And they were like, "Oh, creator," they were like, "Tell him we apologize for everything. We didn't know." And I'm like, "You fucking knew." And they were like, "We did know, but however, we have to do what we have to do in the experience." And I was like, "Wait, I don't want your apology." And then I went, wait, no, wait, apologize to me again. Apologize. And they were like, "Dude, we're really sorry. It's never gonna happen again." I'm like, it's never gonna happen again." And then it was almost like the role was over and they were taken away. There was a whole conversation that happened anyway to keep it simple and moving.
Right. That was a big validation.
And I'm like, holy shit. And the Anubis looking being looks just like the golem. This is what I'm saying. Like, there's giant ones, then there's ones that look like onyx that are moving around, like chess piece. I didn't even fucking think of this.
Because you're putting it together now.
So when they move the golems, they don't walk like.
No, they float.
They fucking float like as if you pick up a chess
like
piece.
Just they're like they're teleporting.
And then you put it down. That's what, when I met it the first time, I went, "Oh, wait, Anubis. Like, wait, you're not Anubis. You're like made of onyx or something." I couldn't tell what it was. It was a big black rock. And then I thought the evil AI. And then it was like, evil AI, we're protecting the block. What the fuck is wrong with you? And like, you built us. And I'm like, wait a second. Golems that look like Anubis. It makes perfect sense. Anubis, the protector. You would make a golem that looks like Anubis, right? And then it would literally be filled with a piece of you. It's you. It's all you. It's all fucking you. It's all inside you.
It's a projection.
And so on that layer and on that level where you can get attacked etherically, these things are there to intercept that bullshit. Shaman Jimmy said to me once, "I drank ayahuasca and came to visit you," right? And they were like, "Wait here." So he was like, "What the fuck?" He goes, and it was all colorful. It was crazy. It was like I was being teleported to this beautiful place. And he goes, and I get there and you're sitting there and there's these giant dogs with you. And there's one on either side. And he goes, "I was fucking frightened to death." And the guy that he was with was saying, don't get scared. They'll come over here and attack you. As long as you're not here for the nefarious bullshit. And if you're scared, you can't be up in here. You can't go in his home if you're scared. You can play with the dogs if you come up into the.
Let's stay.
But if you start fucking around in any way, they're built to keep you from having like your on another level. From there, it's just energy mixing. And on another level, in a computer matrix holographic level, it would be like ports that are shut down that don't allow your entry. And if you try to get in, it's like a door closing on you.
Right.
It would take the form of a dog attacking you because that's what the form takes when you're physically seeing it. But if you're stepping back, it looks like a computer board working hologram kind of bullshit. Ones and zeros fucking floating everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, it's already morning in Scotland.
Oh, good morning.
That's beautiful. Good morning.
As the sun rises in Scotland, I greet you with the love and the light and send you into your day with a hoorah. So Aaron had told me the story of the 300 because people are like, "Well, you keep telling the story." And I'm like, I never tell it correctly. And we're going darkness to light. And why is it so more potent? And who's in what team and who knows and in the gnosis and who's going to ascend and be raptured and some whatever shit. We're all moving it at the pace, right? But why is everyone grouped up into these teams and stuff, right? And you're on the hero's journey, on the hero's path. So what's happening? So he referenced the Bible to me and said, "Dude, the fucking story you tell is in the Bible." And I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." So he's like, "The 300. I'm like, "Yeah, Gerard Butler." He's like, "Not Gerard Butler," right? Not Gerard, right? Like, not for Sparta. We're going to keep this fast and simple. The 10,000 men and women and people, whoever was there, the main guy says, "Hey, whoever's scared, go home." We're going to war. We got a war going. But whoever's scared, you need to go. So the Lord, I guess, explains to them, this is what you got to do. It's probably their higher self, but whatever. So then he goes, take everyone down to the water and drink the water. Anyone that puts their face in the water, right? Anyone, you see them doing that shit, get rid of them, send them home immediately. Don't want them. But anyone that takes the knee and drinks while looking, you keep those guys. That's all you want. So out of 10,000, it dwindled to 300 immediately. And those 300 went on to win some war. And I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, no, they won the war, right? Like the Spartans in the movie 300. That's the comic book version of a story that was told as a story from here. And it's a little more fantastical.
It's morning in the UK also.
Good morning, UK. I greet you with the love and the light.
Good morning.
Greetings, Andrew Sly.
Sam.
So all these wonderful things, wonderful stories, once again, rising back up through just basic gnosis of what I'm dealing with the group directly. Why I don't care that we expand too much more, because everyone's in their positions getting their strongest 300s. I'm not the only one running this program inside the fucking program. This is how we lift out of the program. Right. We're rewriting it into the position of getting, superpowers.
Right. But it's a theory, right? So we're a theory. So it's like you have your people, and each person that comes to you has their own set of people. It's a theory.
Yeah. Well, I'm watching.
And it's a cluster, and it just gets bigger and bigger.
That's exactly what it is. That's what I see.
It's like a hive mind. It gets bigger and bigger.
We're forming clusters that look like, I'll tell you what it looks like to me when I'm viewing it. It looks like the honeycomb.
Yes.
All right. What is that called? I guess that's a honeycomb, right? Mm-hmm. Just a honeycomb. And like you're in this part, and then we connect this way, and then it connects this way, and it's your 300, my 300, this 300. We're whittling it down. It's more than and less than in some cases. It's not 100% on. But what I'm witnessing is when we talk about what wave of people are here, it's almost like seeing the graduating class. Those that are doing the work, those that are participating on that level are about to encounter something that someone who doesn't give a shit at all is not going to encounter in this lifetime, because it's not their
You're not
turn.
Supposed to be there. Yeah.
They're not learning that this time. They learned what they need to learn over here. So I'm watching all this weird shit go on, and it's kind of cool. Like I don't care that as long as the groups don't start fighting, the honeycomb coalesces and creates this really cool place. It's almost like we're building our grid sections as we connect. That's exactly what it is. It's the honeycombs, a grid piece. We're all inside of here. We're not out here on a flat surface. We're like in this sphere of
it's like Asgard is a people, not a place.
So as we hit the frequency, it creates the place that we're supposed to be in, which is what makes it pretty ultimate.
Right, because it doesn't matter where it is. Because
it's happening here. There is no over there. See, you might be in Scotland. Hello, you might be in the UK.
But it's now all the time.
Right now. We're standing next to each other. There's a spot where we're just standing together.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
High five. I know. No, come on. It's nights like this. We've been waiting to hang out and talk to people.
Frank and I haven't seen each other alone this long.
Yeah, we're not watching on an iPad a little show and then running off to the other room to help everyone.
Well, we are. Between the breakfast and the dinner rush, we are. Anyway.
So one of the things that's beginning to occur, the other night this occurred. So I'm going to say, I don't know what night this was. 3 nights ago, 4 nights ago, might be 4 nights ago.
What occurred?
This occurred when all right. So I directly had contact for the first time on a level that I have never had contact on. Like, this is the kind of shit I'm talking about right here. Right. It was so loud and fucking clear that I stood up and was like, and I'm making faces and everything, but I was into it. I was just stoned. I wasn't doing any crazy shit. And I heard, I was under this is where the angel came in, right on the porch area, right? So I'm thinking, while I'm standing out there, I'm gridding. I'm like, I have 2 homes, so I have to ground in here and connect to my home there, and then from there connect to the grid. And I'm just thinking that shit while I'm standing there, and I hear, "Hey, you get what's going on?" Like, and I see a face come up on the screen, like in the movie screen in my mind had a dude. A human male, black guy too. He wasn't that black though. He was black. I mean, like he was brown. I'm trying to. It's.
I
He
know. I know.
was like
I know.
Yo,
Like Carl Weathers Black.
no, like Will Smith.
Okay.
So check it out. He looks at me, and he goes, "You know what your problem is? You're a real piece of trash." So I go, "Wait, what?" So I
Oh,
look at him, and it's my mind's eye, but I'm looking at him with. I could see him with my two eyes open, clear as day, here in my head, as if my
Right.
eyes were closed, but 100% talking to me as if I had fucking headphones on. It was clear as day.
right.
And I said, what's going on? And I noticed he was wearing the opposite colors of everything. Every time I see these characters in blue with the silver stripe, it was like the gray outfit with the blue stripe.
Hold
I
on,
hear that.
I know. I hear that too.
All right, I'll just.
No, I'll get it. Keep going.
So he's looking at me, and I'm like, I know this guy. What the fuck? Who are you? Right? So he just goes, "You're a piece of trash. You know that? You've always been a piece of trash. Since the day I met you, you were trash. You never had the balls or the decency to stand up and be a man. And you're whatever." And he started drill sergeanting me, and I was like, "Yo, who do you think you're talking to?" And he goes, "Oh yeah," and he gets real. I was like, "Yo," I felt this dude's presence when he got this close to my face. I was like almost involved, like, So he's like, "Because we've been waiting for you the whole time. We miss you and love you." And he like hand shook me, pulled me in, and I went, and then I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You don't remember? Come on, don't you remember?" I'm like, "I know who you are. Wait, you look like somebody so fucking familiar, man. Oh my God." And I started pouring tears, crying, trying to figure this out. So I'm like, "You look like," and then in my mind's eye, the character. What's the show we were just watching? Blacklist?
Yeah.
What is that guy's? He's the head of the FBI?
Yeah.
He's like the head of the FBI in the show Blacklist.
Right.
But he's also.
Oh, he played in. Oh God, he played in so many things. Didn't he play in The Matrix?
He was the
Wasn't he
the
one of
guy
those
that didn't believe in the Matrix. Remember, he was like, "I
Wasn't
don't
he-
have time to believe in those things. I have to defend the city." It was that guy,
But
wasn't
wasn't
it?
he a ship?
Yeah, he was the home base
Yeah.
commander. He was like the head guy. Like, "You better get back over here and do what I tell you."
Mhm.
Right? So, yeah, I was gonna say he was in Batman Superman as the FBI guy. By the way, to be revealed as Martian Manhunter in Zack Snyder's original thing, which is totally insane. Puts it right in the category we're talking. But he didn't look just like him. He kind of looked like him, younger, like 38 maybe, or 36 even. And he leaned in on me. He's like, "Come on, what's my name?" So I'm like, "Got nothing."
The other guy.
I got nothing, right? And then, "What ship am I on? What's the ship? What's the name of the ship?" And I'm like, "Man, how am I gonna?" And as I was going, I don't know, because I second guess myself like everyone else, but I saw the name come up in my own mind's eye,
Of course.
big letters, and then I'm like, what the fuck are you spelling, Frank? Like Big Frank? I couldn't put it together. So I'm like, "I can't pronounce that word." He goes, "What do you mean you can't pronounce it?" He goes, "It's a human word. We're human." And I go, "You're human?" "Yeah, you look like a fucking human. You look just like me. Like, what's going on here?" And then he goes, "Say the name of the ship. I know you could see the words." And I go, "I can't pronounce that word. It's Lucius." "What?" And he goes, "That's right. I'm on the Lucius, right? What's my name?" And I said, "You're a commander.
Mhm.
You were my drill sergeant. You were
Mhm.
the guy that brought me in." "Wait a
Mhm.
second. How the fuck did you bring me in? I've never been in the army. I've never been in the." But he's like, "We've never not been here. We're human.
Right.
We're here.
Right.
We're back. We're here to meet you. We're the connection to you.
Right.
What's my name?" I said, "Holy shit, it's Commander Abador." And he fucking went, "Yes, what's up?" And I
Mhm.
was like, "Yo, Frank Castle, nice to meet you." He goes, "Yeah, you still don't like your last name, huh?" Right? And I'm like, "Yeah, fuck them." And then it was like I hugged, I was crying, pouring tears. But then I'm like looking around, like my eyes turning, and I see some of you guys. I saw a couple of you from the Fearless group, and tons of other people,
Right.
but scattered out, and they all had people that this guy was connecting to me. He's like, "You're a fucking commander."
Mhm.
People were going, "Yes, sir, no, sir, commander," to me, and then waving to me. So they were giving me like a, I don't listen. I know the Spock thing, the live long and
Mhm.
prosper shit. I get it. The Arcturians do this thing where they only have 3 fingers, so that's what it is. So whenever it's like I'm tapping into that magical stuff. That's where my higher guy is on the physical into the next thing. So I connect through that. But everyone has a person that they have to talk to, and they were giving us some shit though. So it was like a new set of directives. So I noticed a lot of people, fucking the next morning, Aluna K puts up a giant post. Yeah, I can't really talk about certain things anymore. Blah, blah, blah. It's not because I'm being censored. It's because, and then she gave her excuse. And then I'm like, wait a second. I just follow her because I like her shit. It's just fun. She's fun to, she's she's always fucking positive. I like positive, man. Right.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, wait a second. They told me, dude, you need to stop talking about certain things and get into the other things because they're not going to get in through association through you in terms of getting up back, getting on the frequency. So they'll get there eventually, but you have a job to do. So do your fucking job.
Mhm.
So don't worry about this, and start talking about this, and this.
Mhm.
Do it any way, which way you want. And I'm like, well, I don't fuck your directives, fuck your information. Like, I'm like, who are you to tell me what to? And then it hit me. I remembered, and I'm like, no, this is so important. I have to go do all this fucking shit. I don't have time for that other stuff.
Right.
And they were like, yeah, get back in there and do your work. And I'm like, oh, I just forgot about all this. Like, they're like, we know. That's why nobody's scolding you. We're waving at you, hugging you. I'm right here. I love you. I'm like, I love you. They don't curse at all. I do some weird cursing and stuff. However, I came out of that crappy, remember for 3 days we were shitty?
Yeah.
It was the end of the 3rd night when this happened.
Yeah,
and
it just
I went,
broke.
oh, I felt hyper light.
Yeah.
And I went to the bathroom, by the way, after that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like an ayahuasca purge. And I felt amazing. I was like, oh, just like I had poison in me. I thought I was kind of empty already.
Mm-hmm.
And just when you have that thought, like, no, I don't have anything in me. I haven't eaten. There's always shit stuck somewhere in someone, right? So the poop container thing came up again a bunch of times to bring it back around to Gina Gin. People with, that know the diet stuff understand that you can't have that in there or you're sitting in your own shit.
But you literally are.
Like your etheric self on that layer, like you have shit in you, and then on the etheric level, it's like there's a chain to your fucking ghost. You know what I'm saying? To that character, the soul character, there's like a chain because that's sitting there, and it's just nasty, right? So when you clear it out, all of a sudden you start thinking clearer, and you're like, was I poisoned by that?
You were.
Was that what the 3 days was? They're like, think of it as an ayahuasca thing where you're building up, and then it takes a couple of days and you're gonna build that
transmute that, yeah,
and then you're transmuting it, so you feel crappy, you feel dense and heavy, you'll get pimples and break out, you'll notice you'll have more gray hairs. The other day, man, yesterday when I was here, the lighting in my house and my grandparents, I couldn't tell that I had any hair over here on my fucking ears. When I came home, to me they looked like furry little headphones that I had on my head, and I was like, what the fuck, Eddie Munster? I've never seen that. I'm like, I've been looking in the mirror for 3 days. I didn't see any of this stuff, and I have stuff all over me. What the fuck?
I didn't notice any of that.
I'm just saying.
I didn't notice any of that.
When you're in the lighter light, you're not seeing as much as when you're in the light.
There's
step into the light and take a look around.
There's something going on in the chat room, and I can't see it all. I could only see every second or third because of the way I'm sitting and on my glasses on. But I'll address this at another time. Something about not taking a hand in friendship. I don't know what that means. So I'll address all of that. We'll address it at another time, not now. I don't know what any of that means because I only see a little bit of it.
I don't even know if I have anything to do with this yet. Again,
no, it's probably me. I probably have something. I don't know.
Do you ever get involved in anything? Because let's talk about this, because I've been yelled at lately with the entire Fearless family, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I noticed I went down for a few days. We didn't talk for 2 weeks on the show.
Right.
And then as I'm I was social distancing away from my phone because that's an addiction as well. So I'm
Mhm.
not posting as much and saying I logged on and my name's everywhere that I did something to someone, and with a list of other people, and then the list of the other people not only were not Fearless family members,
Right.
they were just some people were on my list, but they were all people from another radio place that I guess I worked with or whatever. I don't speak to any or most of those people. I haven't in over a year or so, and then hadn't been part of anything that they were talking about, but was being charged and blamed for all this other stuff and contributing to bullshit. And I'm like, man, I don't got nothing to do with this. So, but that was causing other flare-ups, because when you're
Right.
connecting this to that and saying this to that, it's like, oh, well, what are they doing and what did they do and da. Listen, I got my own reasons for what I do. I walked away from things, didn't give any of you no inside track on anything, right? Because it's none of my business to tell somebody else's business to you. It's up to you to do whatever it is you want to fucking do, but I have to do what I have to do. So all I did was walk away and did it the way I did it. However, with doing that, apparently other things have happened in this world, and the blame kind of went out in all directions, and this anger that lashes out caused more separation. I'm letting you know right now, anything that causes more separation is just causing separation. Okay, things can be worked out on a way better level if you're claiming masterhood or examples or whatever. Maybe stop being trashy and just do your thing and don't worry about it. Don't worry about what other people think and do, because I didn't know what the fuck anyone was talking about, and my name was the first person there. I'm like, I don't know you. I don't know you.
Right.
I don't know your people. I don't know those people. I've never met any of them. I literally made a message or two. So during this time, the snooze button in Facebook is an excellent 30-day deep breath meditation on whether or not you even want to be friends with someone like this or people like this. Just take a break.
Mhm.
Don't blow it up.
Right.
Don't blow up all your bridges and candles. This is what I mean when we're building the honeycomb.
Mhm.
Maybe you're in the wrong honeycomb, even though they're all trying to get correct. So you're accepted into the honeycomb and you're like, no, it's all good. We're all bees. It doesn't matter. And then you realize that's not your place. So you decide to fucking drop a grenade in it and then move on to the next honeycomb. That's fine. Stop dropping grenades though. In the honeycombs, it doesn't matter. And if you have a problem, I'm going to say this right now, because men don't seem to have this problem, but women seem to do. Say what the problem is as if you're bullet noting on a list, right? So if you're going to say names, all people, all these people, who? Name them, and we'll handle our business. And none of it had to do with any of us, is what I'm getting at. So don't be fooled by bullshit that you might, somebody that's watching this show and then sees the drama on Facebook. We're not involved in any of it, is what I'm getting at.
Right.
Right.
So,
And there's a lot out there. So I'm responding to it once, because then I'm done with it again. The trash takes itself out. I don't need to confront the whatever. I have nothing to do with nothing. So I'm going to stand on that. Anyway, so get into frequency. This is what they told me. We've been here. We never not been here, but this is the connection time.
yeah, you just don't remember.
Like graduation to that degree. So when you see these clumps of 300 or these other people grounding in and having a good time and understanding and growing together,
Right.
and helping each other grow,
Mhm.
that's the ambassador point to this whole operation. Straight up, I'm like, wait, what? They're like, yeah, you all forgot, but you guys that are the grid points are also the ambassadors. You're the ones we're going to talk to first.
Mhm.
Like, you're actually our people. We're not you. Like, I'm like, yeah, you guys are all. Everyone was human, by the way, that I looked at. I was like, yo, everyone's human. They're like, yeah, we're you. Don't worry about the future. Are you from the future? We're literally you. I'm like, yeah, there's no different.
Right.
And I'm like, and I was checking them up and down and did all kinds of shit. And I had memories of quite a lot of stuff come back to me. And on another date, we'll discuss that as time goes on. I'll be able to, I guess, get into more personal information on that level, because I'm remembering it. I'm remembering
As you piece it together. Yeah, that's what's happening with the healing. This stuff that.
That's what they said. They were like, she's a, like, I don't want to say what they said. But she's like a military, like, that's who you'd call in to fuck someone up. You're a healer. Like, they looked right at me and were like, dude, you're a healer. You're like a wizard. Put your hood on and heal. And I'm like, oh no, that's cool. They're like, you can still ride the Silver Surfer thing. But that's who, if you want to, I'm like, no, That's a big fucking difference. They were like, you're a healer, just heal. She's on her way to she's healing too, but you're the healer and she's that. Think of the war party, right?
She's a spy.
Well, that's the wrong word, war party, but like
Yeah.
in Golden Axe,
There's
she's
a spy.
You have the
and you're a
girl
healer.
with the axe, the guy with the axe,
Yeah.
you know, the Chewbacca character, you know, and then, you know, so everybody has to be present.
And I cook.
Or Lord of the Rings. You have to have the wizard, the mage, the warrior, the assassin, the one that knows like certain other shit.
The kitchen wench.
Yeah. You know how to cook.
Yeah.
You'll come with us.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh no, it's just funny. Anyway, I love you. Thank you for sticking into this with me.
Oh, you're welcome.
All down to the end.
3 hours.
Yeah, be happy because we haven't.
I am happy. I haven't talked.
I'm fully cheering for you.
Everyone else is too. Everyone is cheering for me right now.
So
they know I'm gonna slip out of this chair and just slide myself.
This is a time for all of you, and they were like, "Remember, dark to light, dark to light." They kept saying to me, "Dark to light, just remember, dark to light, you'll be fine." And then so there's codes in there that are just unlocking.
You got to just use the last 50 or 60 words, don't you? Go ahead, spit it out.
Well, you don't just press the button to end the show. There's like an outro to it. It's like a good evening and thank yous for joining us, Fearless Family.
I'm kidding.
She would just press and she'd go, "Oh, okay, great."
I believe in the Irish exit. No, take your time.
It's all right. You can go set up. I got a couple of things to take care of. You want to say goodnight to everyone?
Good night to everyone.
Who's in the window too?
Oh, there's a cat.
Oh, a cat.
You're gonna push
Who
me
would have
away.
thought it was a cat? I would have thought it would have been something else completely.
You are such a camera hog.
As the light bends in my direction, the universe conspires to my will, for I am the creator, but you are too. So let's get this shit done, man. Get all the creative things done that you want to do. Set it up, roll it out. They said to me, the only thing that you really have to do at this point is be creative. As long as you're being creative. And anyway, I was like, dude, I had a color in the coloring book the other night. I didn't know what the fuck to do. I was so upset. And I started scribbling, and then it turned into, I realized the thing I was painting was actually, it was Iron Man with the fire in his hand. And I had been talking to Aaron, I can't wait till I could light the cigarette that you're smoking from here. If I go, and then it like lights your thing. And then he's like, oh, it could do that. Of course. You know, Aaron and I had an experience, but we're going to go live at one point, hopefully this week, and then discuss what happened to us. But we had one of those moments with teleportation where I showed up on his side. So I don't think I was fully there. It was ethereal for sure, but he started discussing it as it was happening to me. And he was just talking to me on the phone, and I was going, oh. Anyway, so it's possible. It's all real. It's all happening. It's all wonderful. You're wonderful. I love you.
I love you.
Paula loves you. The cats love you. We send you positive vibes. If you want to join us in the Fearless family on Facebook, that's the group that we use to do all the safe space personal stuff that we like to handle, our business, as we say in the Bronx. You come join us, but I noticed now there's 51 people that didn't answer the question or even try. I'm not letting you in unless you answer the question. I don't give a shit. You have to look at it. You have to look into it. Just don't click the button. I don't want button pushers. I want people that are ready to be fearless. So are you afraid, or are you going to step into the new you? It's scary, but let's be scared together. Let's hold hands and go, I'm not afraid. I am afraid, but I'm going to do it with you. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Wait, we'll do it like Lethal Weapon style. Is it 1, 2, 3? Or is it 1, 2, 3? Then we go. And he goes, okay. 1, 2. It don't matter. Let's just go.
What is the stupidness you're talking about?
It's crazy stupidness, but it's the stupidness that matters across the fucking board. Just hold my hand and I will hold yours and we'll make it happen. Don't be afraid no more. We have to get up. David Icke would say, human, get up, stand up off your knees. I don't agree with what he says. Oh, so vaccinations have the microchip in it. When they activate the 5G, that's how they fuck you up. They got to get that in you first. 5G in it on its own. Yeah, it's fucked up, but not what you're thinking. However, UFOs I saw the other night were satellites. They're launching satellites into space. How can space 5G hit us on 5G that needs to be every fucking 100 feet? Makes no sense. and why they allowed to launch satellite incoming comets. When I was outside with the Anubis character, and they were like, we can't protect you if you don't stay inside the house. What are you protecting me from out here? Right over his head in the background, I saw something fly in, and I'm like, oh, look, wait, what? And it was like on fire, and it was coming in, and then something flew up and met it, and then it just was disintegrated over the distance. Like, it looked like a star that you couldn't even really see over here, just fly in and fly out. That's all I saw. It happened so fast. But I noticed that because the whole sky was perfect to see that shit. And it was like, go in your house. And I went right back inside. I was like, I ain't never seen nothing like that before. I'm in. And then I kept thinking of fucking movies with asteroids and all kinds of weird shit. And Night of the Comet came up with the comet tail drags everything through. And that's like bad news for us. Whatever that in the movie, it's zombies. But then at the end of the movie, it lifts them into the next thing, like their version of the 5D New Earth or whatever. And it does end on a good note, not on a horror movie note. So just keep that shit in mind. No matter what happens, they don't want you to look up and all kinds. Look up and look around. Tap in, ground yourself, and take a peek and see what the fuck is going on. It's our time still. This is the time for the great reset. Let these guys play the chess game. Let them play it out. Don't you stress it. You should just know in your heart it's going to work. It's going to work. I don't know what's working. I just know it's going to work in our benefit, for our purpose, for our highest and greatest good in the optimum timeline, while creating to get into that position. So it just occurs and you could walk in instead of stressing the whole fucking thing the whole time. Right? No more stress. So don't stress. Take a deep breath before you do anything. Make sure you're meditating every day. I love you guys so much. Stay fearless. And remember, the universe rewards bravery. All right. I love you guys. Fearless family. Peace.